like calendar thing, but essentially it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday we'll do China. Saturday, Sunday it clashes with Pacific, and then Monday, Tuesday we'll do Pacific, and then Wednesday, Thursday, I guess Wednesday be a bit of a day off, and Thursday we can catch up on any VODs that we missed. Sort of see how it goes from there, I guess. Just take it a step at a time. So yeah, for the first series at least, Sod9 rating his team cohesion, said 50 marks during kickoff, now it's 80. Yeah, and also AG didn't make any like roster moves. Like they came dead last in kickoff, but I think they had the harder group. One of the teams that they played was DRG, and then they played up against, who would it have been? It was in their first game, and then all gamers lost to JDG. Yeah, so like two really difficult opponents. So having to play both of those in a group is kind of tricky. JDG versus Edward Gaming is going to be amazing later. I'm almost hoping that this first series is quite quick, so we could just get like straight into it. That's the hope. And there's like loads of data that I need to put in. For DRG, they made a roster move. They had Dingwei in as their like sort of Sova player. Played main initiator, but a bit of Viper when he needed to. He's been benched, and he's brought in a player that was benched before for this. So basically, Xion was on the team before. Xion was benched in place of Dingwei for Ascension. DRG won Ascension. Now they're here. They're benching Dingwei again and putting Xion back in the roster. So I guess like a bit more experience, a bit more composure at the top level. G versus Zeta just made me sad. Hope China Gibbs will be more fun. What is the first map done? Because we can like actually put that on in the background. I was just gonna put Sliggy stream on, like watch party through him. 13-1, fucking hell. Nice performance for Phoenix though. Almost 400 ACS. Had some hope of similars for GE. Who do you think wins out, DRX versus Secret? It should be DRX, right? But we've seen so many times Team Secret win those kind of series, especially very early on in a like year. And they won it last time, right? Like at least one of the times that they played last year, I remember, because it was the one Team Secret game that I missed. So naturally, because I'm missing this series and I'm not watching Team Secret because I'm watching China, that's when Team Secret's going to beat DRX. But I think that's just how it works, right? Press conference highlights, yes. Let's do it. So Sword9, only thing that was apparently said is just they're looking a bit more cohesive. Yu Chen, not to be mistaken from the player YH Chen, who plays for JDG now. He's the assistant coach. So the team's made roster changes and added in new strats. He thinks that the team could achieve good results as they didn't have enough strats before, and it's a lot better now. Yeah, I mean, they were just like 5-man hitting, executing on sites, weren't they? T-Virus Loot mentioned that the team has added in a new player, which was Xion in place of Dingwei. Lineup's not changed much, so I guess the roles will be similar. As the team is currently practicing strats and scrims, they require the team to communicate more, which is really difficult for them, as they have an import player. Yeah, but I think like there's a lot of strategies that you can do that doesn't require Vukashu to really do anything. Like if he's playing Killjoy, he'll know where to molly. It's just about timing, right? It's not like he has a recon or a flash that he needs to time well. But yeah, they have an import player, so they're working hard to improve communication with Vikashu. TZH thinks that the main improvement the team has made is that they're able to run more comps to deal with more situations, as compared to kickoff, where they were helpless and would just rush the site. Very true. When faced against something they'd never played against. That's also not really true. They, regardless of who it was against or what map, a lot of stuff that they did was just like full 5-man executing onto a site. The addition of Xion will allow them to pick more stuff and face various situations. Interesting. I guess we can look at like their agent pool. It's kind of confusing because now you've got Xion that's like a main controller player. You've got TCH, who's mostly like Viper but can play Astra Omen. And then you have got... Who's the other controller player that they had? I've gone blank. I'm trying to remember it before I have to look it up. Not sure, actually. I guess it would just be TCH. So you got two... I thought there was 3 controller players, but... Might be thinking of another team. T-Virus League wants to face FPX because DRG always loses against FPX, so he wants to get his revenge. As for EDG, they've always represented VCT China in international competitions, so as long as DRG beats them, they have a chance to make it to an international event. That's true. But there's so many teams in China that are beating EDG in the season, but they're not beating them either in qualifying games or for like grand finals and stuff, right? Trace, do we look at this or do we save this for Trace tomorrow? I guess we save this for Trace tomorrow. I'm curious on EDG though. After the head coach, we've gained some experience and learned some lessons from Masters. We've been practicing for a week. Let me just do this as well, just to move this down. Where is it? We've been practicing for a week since we came back. We haven't prepared much as the format's slightly different and there's only 1 match per week. We can slowly build up our strats over the split. It's roughly the same. We've made some adjustments to player roles and the team's playstyle, and the playstyle may become more defaulty, and it'll no longer be as loose and disciplined like we used to. Thank you. Shouldn't have taken you getting battered at Madrid to make that change. You should have been looking at making this style happen when you were losing to like Rare Atom and Trace last year. I think VCT China still has a lot of... I think that VCT China still has a lot of... taking us as an example, our defeat in Madrid came down to losing a few clutch situations or due to like on-the-spot decision-making. We aren't as calm as decisive as compared to teams from other regions, very true. I think we're at least on par with other regions when it comes to coming up with game plans before the matches. We're not getting wrecked, but we're severely lacking in those clutch situations or on-the-spot communication. See, I think that's the opposite. I think that that's what EDG are really good at, is doing stuff on the fly and winning out clutches. You can do those in the big series. In fact, that's what enables you to beat Trace and FPX in finals and qualifying games. It's just more like... I want to see them try to take control of the game, like lead with the default. You set the tempo, you set the pace of how you want this map to be played. Like, you want to be manipulating your opponent to do things that you want them to do, and then you throw them into traps. Like, that's what I want to see from EDG. I want to see them, like for example, on attack, ascent, do a lot of stuff towards mid early, and condition the enemy to think that like EDG are going to fight for mid. And then once you've done that, you've realized they're trying to fight and push you a lot more. That's when you start to do other stuff. But like EDG, everything they do is super telegraphed, and it's not like they need to fake more. It's more they need to do things in a certain order to really force the other team to make awkward decisions. I watched the FPX game and they also lost a lot of key rounds due to clutch situations. I think that's just like discipline from them. I think that what stopped FPX from doing well is a little bit different from EDG. Love to see end streams, by the way. Thank you, Lee. Sorry, I just saw that message. Have you gained anything? What's your expectations from the domestic teams in the new split? It's definitely been quite a bit of growth. Good. I think that how the in-game content is formed is related to how tactics are set. true. We approached the international stage as a learning experience and gained quite a bit from it. I'm really glad to hear that. With many familiar faces from domestic teams coming up to form a team, I think we'll see more diverse styles and changes. They've also always been watching us on the international stage, so they probably gain something different from just watching the match. I mean, I'd hope so. I'd hope that all of the other China teams would look at EDG's loss and go, wait, they're so good. Like, what caused them to lose? And if they could just incorporate things of teams like Loud, like Sentinels, like KC, less Paper X, because I think that's a trap the China teams could easily fall into, going, yeah, we could do that. You can. Only Paper X could do that shit. But the other top teams across all of the regions, stealing their defaults, comps, just watching them and sitting there and going, why does the Fade play on B now, on defensive lowers, instead of playing A, like Leo used to do a lot? Who caused that change, like that adjustment in the meta? Why are they haunting this position instead of this one? Like, I think that's what EDG need to do, is just watch VODs and just go, why are they doing this instead of that? And then really work out why teams are making things, instead of going, oh, they're haunting this position now instead of this one, let's just copy them. It's the best example I can give. This is from my buddy, one amongst many. When he used to do a lot of Overwatch coaching, there used to be a lot of people that would play like Soldier 76 and go on the high ground. Like, it used to be almost a meme of like, if you play Soldier 76, get onto high ground. And nobody knew why. It was just like, oh, I need to play on the high ground. But there's so many people that didn't realize, like, what's so important about Soldier being on the high ground? When shouldn't you be on the high ground, right? Like, it's just like, people are just embedded certain rules into their brain of what to do, but they don't really understand why they should be doing it. So they don't understand when it's important to be doing this, and also when it's important to not be, like, falling into those certain rules. And it's something that stuck with me for ages, of just, it's alright knowing why you should default on B as a Killjoy on Ascent. But you understanding why you're there and when you should change to A, that's what separates you from, like, being, like, knowledgeable on the game versus maybe being an expert. When you have all of the context, right? I'm not saying, oh, you play A on Killjoy when you have Ultimate so you can play Retake, therefore you know everything about Valorant, but I guess what Sliggy does well with his watch parties of just keeping on top of the changes and knowing instantly why changes are being made. Instead of like, oh, they've moved here, look at the ultimates, oh, that's why. I don't know what has changed. I could be more aware of both our strength and the strength of the other teams after losing. Because after we beat them once, Loud played very well in the second and third rematch. And that was even after they lost their carry. I don't think a lot of changes took place because losing into Loud isn't that bad of a thing itself. I see what Kung Kung's saying, but I do think the way that they lost speaks volumes. And that's not something that I think you can pawn off. It's like Fnatic had to turn around and be like, well, losing to Team Heretics isn't that bad of a thing itself. It's like, yeah, but Masters Madrid is a new chapter in our career, and the year 2024 is also a new chapter for us. Our losses to first competition only serves as a reminder for us to work harder. I also haven't changed much. It's okay as long as we can translate that stuff we pulled off in scrims on stage. Don't really like that too much, but we didn't do so in those matches. I'll come back to why I don't like this. I also think that we don't have to make any changes. We just need to be ourselves. Again, I get what they're saying, but I think it's a very slippery slope. The reason why I don't like this is because I can imagine if you're scrimming teams, like other teams from China, either in Tier 2 or in Tier 1 in the other groups. Also playing in Pacific teams. It's just going to be a lot of teams that will play in scrims very differently to how they play officials. It was a thing in Europe as well. Like, I think Nopenki was the biggest example of being scrim demons. I know that teams didn't like to scrim Nopenki. I don't mind saying this because it's like literally been like 3 years since they played. But teams didn't like scrimming Nopenki because they would just like push it down on defense. They'd sort of play it as like ranked, be super aggressive, be super in the face of their opponents. But in officials, they wouldn't do that. They're too scared to go for those stupidly aggressive plays. So there was this big, like, juxtaposition of, like, how confident and how good they were in scrims versus officials. So I think that's what I'm worried about with EDG, is that they go, oh, well, if we play scrims, we're just like, you know, Kung Kung's getting so many kills with an operator that he's just free to do whatever he wants. And they're not really doing stuff strategically. You can't really translate that into officials very well. Like, it's very, very hard. If you need anything, please ping me. I don't think I need anything. The only thing I was curious of is just having like a link in Sliggy's chat, I guess, but it's not massive deal. It's such a small thing, but it does so much for this stream. And it's just nice that people might, even if they just come along and follow, and then come back and watch the VODs later. Because that's the other thing. They're privating the VODs afterwards. Which I don't know why. I don't know why they would do that. Okay, just for you. I do need to add more channel points. I'll work it out. I have a couple of ideas I want to do, but when I'll probably like sort them in the middle of next week. So yeah, that's the general thing a bit. A lot of stuff for EDG naturally. I wonder what, because we could go back to these tomorrow if they're good. Coach Destroyer said that they've done an overall review of Kickoff and TYLOO. They've expanded their map pool. Said the changes to the roster and coach's staff is for the team to win. Great, thanks for the insight. Yeah, we just got these players in to win. Pretty sure every roster move that has been made, other than maybe EA leaving Cloud9, is for their team to win. Kai mentioned that Lao King can play a lot of agents and also helps the team. So I guess he's just more of a flexible controller player than Flexin, ironically. I keep putting Liu King because it's pronounced Lao, I'm pretty sure. But he can play Astra, he can play Omen, play Brim, play Viper. Like, literally is just like the controller player. So this guy will fucking play Clove, no doubt, if that opportunity comes up. So for Flexin, how uncomfortable is it? Can play Viper, can play Astra. So I guess that's interesting, but don't think that really paints us the whole picture. Maybe it's like because they're better on all of the agents. Because if 90 games, 200 ACS-ish, a little bit more on Brim, but he's only played 8. His stats are a little bit worse for Lao King, but I guess it's, well, Tracer just dumpstering more. Most teams that we've seen all games play, and that's typically what this comes down to too, because all of these are added in manually. It's basically all of the series that TYLOO are shown on a mainstream, like in the West, that the stats get added. So we see more Trace, and Trace tend to do better in those tournaments. We see all gamers, they tend to get bodied. Loking themselves said that he's mainly there to help with Trace's map pool, as they can play a lot of controller agents. He thinks that the cohesion with his team is currently at 60%, which is just a pass, and it'll be improved through subsequent matches and practice. I like that they do like to give themselves ratings and whether they've passed or not. Like, it's such a common thing, it feels like. FBX. Lysol attended a press conference while Zishuan didn't. Yeah, this is the player that potentially might come in for Lysol, but I think it's just heavily rumored. Nothing like concrete. Maybe they've scrimmed with him instead of Lysol, but that might be it. Everyone may think that FPX will be the first team to use the new hero. How do I put it? Maybe it's possible. We may run a triple or quadruple smokes comp, and it's not out of the window. These guys are just utter fucking trolls, aren't they? Relying on this take from Madrid, the opponents are able to maintain composure, and the ability to withstand pressure in a high-intensity match, and play with a lot of confidence on stage. This is what we couldn't do. I'd say this. I mean, FBX played with a lot of confidence on stage. It just didn't work. It's starting now. Berlin thinks that more has to be seen studied before using Cloven in an official match because their abilities kind of help their teammates very well. Right. And they're playing up against Wolves tomorrow. So that should be like a good win for them. Wait, somebody got banned in chat? Somebody that's not been in chat, I don't think, unless I've got them muted or some shit. Alright, Monk, attacking Soul player. I think I have everything set up. I can disable preview there. Sword 9. This sound should be. I can turn this up a bit more. There we go. All right, test. I've gone kind of quiet again. But... Test. Sorry, bear with me. Spitfires. Maybe I don't need to like compress it as much as I do. Test. 1, 2. Up it slightly. There we go. Maybe. Eco. So I haven't got that set up either. Shit, that was something I wanted to do. Easy fix for next time. I'll write it down for me to remember. Veto source. Oh, I should have messaged Fukashi before we started. Man is actually jacked. The venue's so empty. To be fair, everybody that was sat down, it's like parted to either side to like wave to the players. But that's a lot of people there still. Yeah. But obviously like with group stages like this and like weekly fixtures, it is going to be a little bit quieter. I can probably up this to Giant 7. I think the audio wants to be about there, I think. Nisha TCH. Oh, maybe that's a bit loud. Test. Yuchin. DRG is playing with Shion instead of Dingwei? Yeah. Add more flexibility is what they said. But you've kind of got 2 controller players now instead of a main initiator. So maybe Nick's going to go to main initiator instead. And then you've got like, you can run stuff like double controller more consistently. Because then Shion can play like Omen or the Viper.
随着双方战
And then TZH can obviously play both too.
联赛的4强第2季对阵到起点赛以来未尝一胜的 AG，
Yeah, they're just done it now.
究竟是劲旅稳定发挥拿下胜利，还是由 AG 演绎以下课上的剧本？我们比赛场上见分晓。
是的，那这样的一场比赛，其实我们知道 Stage 1的一个赛程，每支队伍会要 跟对面组的互相
Hopefully that's not too loud now. Let me know like if the audio ducking of the stream is good,
更多的一个交集了，所以必须要去把握每一次
or whether the in-game is a bit too loud now.
阻碍单循环
I feel
嘛，
like it's a
更多的时
bit
候要
too
专注于
loud.
自己。遇到不同的对手，我要去选择不同方针，但是更多的时候要加强自身的努力和改变。
而且我相信对于 AG 来说，其实我们刚刚赛前也听到了剑九这里的一个采访。 是非常想要去复仇的，他们也一定做了足够多的战术部署和准备。但是今天要来到场上，一切还是以选手的一个状态来说话啊。
是，包括第2季这一边，他们也是觉得说自己的信心会更多一些嘛。同样也是试泳期的或者说在 Stage 1的首秀，也是需要去证明自己的一个情况，并且他给自己的目标也是 MVP， 也是来看看他今天的发挥如何。
对的。
Have I got everything set up for recording? Is this the record button? It is. But it's not. It's recording my camera. Is it recording my camera?
没有办法能够为队伍提供很多的尖刀的突破，但是有的时候他会有非常杀神的这种表现，对，所以他其实是一个能够非常快的去调整自己状态的一个选手。当他有非常好的状态的时候，这位选手的上限我们也会说非常的恐怖。
是的，镜头也是给到 Nick 选手 ，Nick 作为第2季的指挥，他其实一直承担着比较大的压力，并且他还要操刀烟卫的职责，他要去保证队伍能够安全的进点。东北红唇少爷一都。这是 Luke 的粉丝。
是的。
It's an interesting thing.
现场也有很多可爱的观众会。
Did I miss the map select? No, you did not.
的牌子啊，我其实挺喜欢在这个给到现场镜头时去看看大家就对选手的评价是什么。
同样的给到 Sean 这里的话也是，我们刚刚有说到。
Oh, he's got a command in chat now. Okay.
上面可能会要去做出。
AG banning Ascent, good move considering it's a really good map for DRG. What did they ban last time? DRG banning Lotus. I think that actually works out pretty nicely. Both these teams were banning out Lotus a lot in kickoff. So I guess that's AG actually doing well to like call the bluff and be like, we know that we both like to ban Lotus, so we're going to ban out the other map. All gamers picking up Icebox. They picked Sunset once against like they picked Sunset against DRG last time. They lost. They played and picked Icebox against JDG and they lost 13-11. So DRG, had we seen them play Icebox before? DRG gun Sunset. So these are both maps that all gamers were like really happy to play because they picked both of them. Like in the 2 series that they played for kickoff, they picked this one to pick this one. So they lost on both, but
打的地图里面也是重复度会比较高的一张地图了。
对，打过，而且打过2次。对，现在就看。
All gamers bad and bind. So what's that leave? Split and Breeze. I imagine Breeze split.
因为毕竟自己的双决斗体系目前看来还只有杰峰和瑞娜。是的，这张图如果不打双决斗，打去。
That's not really based off of anything.
同样的提醒一下大家，是第2季这里他们选择这个掷骰子获得了胜利，然后自己选择到Team B。那最后一张地图的决定权将由第2季这里决定，他们选择搬掉了霓虹钉，放出来了微风岛屿。那这样的话
，Interesting video. I don't have like all of my thingies set up. So Icebox, we did see it from DRG. They ran Silver Gecko, and they ran Raze, Harbor Viper. I do like the Raze on this map. I think that's a good choice.
我觉得今天的3张地图里面会有。
What did I say? So I was right on Lotus. Wrong on Breeze, completely wrong.
Luke 这里很有可能要对上到的是小火龙，是的，小火龙要换到决斗。
I think this is a really nice veto though for all gamers.
会有一个非常精彩的对决赛。
没错。
Like 2 maps that you've played, you're a bit more comfortable on. You've also seen DRG play on this. What about Breeze? Breeze, we've seen them play. What's their record on it? They lost to FPX. They lost on Split as well. Sent 1-on-1.
这个我会觉得今天是我非常期待的一个点。
是，其实 AG 整体这几位队员，我觉得他们都已经在枪法上很多次证明过自己了。但是能不能
Pick'ems? Do you want to do pick'ems for this map? You can do.
放在自己身上，去把自己练好的东西就完全打出来，这个是
I haven't got stuff set up here though, so give me a second. second.
或是比如说紧跟时事，我们去开发一下夜路体系呢？因为其实我觉得在当前，如果想要凭借完全凭借枪法去控 DRG 的话，还是会有压力，毕竟有一个 Vokasu 在那儿呢，而且你也不好说这边会不会化身自龙。那这种情况下，我觉得在体系上做一些编排也能弥补这个缺失。
对的，那同样对于 DRG 来说，这支队伍他们也有他们自己需要去担心的地方。这支队伍我们一直能够看到他们的上限，他们从竞胜赛一路打上来。
My pickups I got DRG for this.
但是可能有的时候让人担心的是状态能不能去维持的更加稳定一点，或者你更多次的能够
I'll do that as well.
状态，这个是对于 DRG 来说更加关键的。
对，可能考验到的就具体分化下来就是 Look 了嘛，因为 Look 其实在之前的这种状态浮动是比较大的，所以我觉得稳定性可能需要再次的去提升一些。但有时候如果你过度去追求稳定性，反而会失去它那种锋利破局的感觉。
对的。同样的，其实也会出现说 DRG 在面对上目前 VCT CN 可能靠前的一些队伍的时候，
I still kind of fancy DRG here.
开数会出现一点哑火的情况，这支队伍
What they running?
提供后续的一个火力。
I like also like DRG's jersey, like the black and green.
对的，虽然说我卡数其实
They're running Harbor Viper themselves.
稳定能打出击杀，但是
I don't know why teams in China are so like allergic to playing Sage.
选手也是人，他一定是会有状态上的变化。
Like on this map.
或许可能会发生在今天。
Because there were free agents who weren't played at all at kickoff. Deadlock, obviously. ISO, and Sage.
对，要看他们能不能去准备更多的东西。
All gamers is Raze. Yeah, they had Raze last time. It's a good adjustment, I think.
客观的原因没有办法来到最好的时候，用更多的战术和对于对手战术的破解来去把这个问题给解决掉。
是的，就所谓出招和拆招嘛。那同样
It's a crime not to play Sage here. I know you're memeing because you're just like a Sage fan, but you're right.
是有一些差异的。首先是 DRG 这一边，他们带的是一套盖可猎枭双先锋，他可能会缺失双烟的控图能力。那这张图其实现在主流国际上打的双烟会偏多一些。那反观AG 这一边，他们就是一套双烟
Need to stop that popping up. I probably need to get rid of it too.
会选择到了蝰蛇和海神这两位英雄啊。
是。
We have to laugh about me being right.
主打一个长面积隔断。
I mean, stopped clock is right twice a day, isn't it?
都是会上 debuff 的。一个过去你会有减速，一个是会有一个衰退效果。
侵蚀的一个效果。
I guess the stop clock would be only right once a day. I don't know why it says twice. I guess it's like on a
情况一般来说，大数据来说
digital clock if it's not 24 hours.
那这次其实也同样的做了觉得位置上面可能会有这样的一个变化。那也要来看一下这张地图里面。
But I do think that like there's elements of like Sage be more useful. Maybe just the utility is just too expensive, but it is so strong. Because I think for like Sage, you've got from best map to worst, I'd say like Icebox for sure. I quite like doing stuff with Sage on Ascent. I like the stuff I saw in Sunset. I think actually Split would go here. Sunset, what does that leave us? Breeze is too big. So there's like no chance. Bind used to be really meta. What is the map of Lotus? Yeah, I mean, have we ever seen Lotus being played on this map?
对，那同样的在前后置位做了一些。
And they consider the West team in China Tier 1. I would have said the TYLOO were.
去选择到什么样的英雄，我觉得也是有待考究的，因为他整个节风可能会在我看来更加亮眼一些。
Because you got to think like, obviously now we've seen TYLOO play against Billy pick up a really good map, so it's a bit more varied. But like for TYLOO last stage, they lost 2-0 to Trace, I think it was. Like Trace kind of destroyed them. It's like 13-4, 13-3. And then TYLOO, it's probably better to do it like this. Like they were 0-2 against Trace. And then they went 0-2 against Nova. And Nova at that point we were thinking would be the worst team like in China. But in comparison, all gamers, they did lose 0-2 in the first game, but they lost against DRG, who made top 4. And then they lost 0-2 to JDG, who probably should have made top 4 as well. And like the first map that they lost here was 11-13. First map that they lost here was 11-13. Like these ones were like 4-13, 3-13, and then this was like maybe like 13-9, 13-8, something along those lines. This was like 13-4, I remember, because they played Ascent.
以快为主，以执行或者说一波流为主。是。那同样，缩奈在
Sage's doing quite poorly on Icebox in terms of win rate and tournament play. He's the lowest overall win rate in Sentinels in tournaments.
会进行一些 fake。
好，那我们也可以看到。
I mean, I think Anders was asleep, but now he's woken up in a fit of rage because he went on a massive rant about this yesterday.
双控场啊，少远这里一上来是。
Because I thought that Sova had like the lowest non-mirrored win rate out of all initiators, but that's just for like tier 1.
而且刚刚我们还有一个期待的地方是在于，我们知道了 DLB 要换到少尉，但是这里还是 AG 选择到的唯一绝对位置雷兹。在这张地图里面是。
Raise what? I mean, this is what they did last time. I think the most surprising thing is that they've swapped Delby over. So it's now Spitfire's playing it.
继续沿用雷兹这套体系，我觉得也没有问题。
对，可能也是他们有练的一个东西。那同样在这张地图里面，这张地图其实还真是很多绝对位都能出的。我们甚至在很多 rank 这种集锦里面看到霓虹也能够在这个 A 点的时候，这个有非常流畅的这种跟绳索之间的一个互动啊。
对，我记得 Angel 还拿过夜路呢，包括不死鸟也出现过。 也是即将进入到我们的比赛，森寒东港现在屏幕上已经给到了我们的画面。
All right, first map is Icebox. I need to sort out a way to record these better.
前锋位置上面一边是 KO， 一边是猎枭，可能我们单猎枭会见的会比较多一点，单 KO 会见的。
Hopefully the in-game sound isn't too bad either.
第一张地图森寒东港，首先去看一下两边的部署。
All right, welcome back to China Stage 1, everybody. Clashes with Pacific, so we're focusing on this one. And the first game in the second day is All Gamers versus DRG. Rematch of a kickoff game that we saw too. I think for both teams it's been small adjustments to like rosters, but I can go over all out when we get a second. Because All Gamers picked the map, DRG actually picked attack first. And Frenzies and classic spam is the thing that's winning out. Just 3 players to peek into. Like, good fight actually from All Gamers. I how they managed to fight all of that together. But DRG just going for the like pushing elbow, execute.
这个中路偏守防家的位置，这几乎是减不了了。
这一波手
Nice little double peek too as well.
看到他们其实是想用
Yeah, well played from All Gamers. With the pistol on their map pick, at least the first one.
可能会有一点理想化，因为一是交火距离相对会比较近一点，被对手混就。
DRG letting Yuchen take those instead of LT.
包括进入到点之后，猎枭可能
Is it just him in the coach slot? Because Nate had Wolves of Nate and Jungle.
其实我觉得 AG 的处理是比较
Yeah, whilst we're on like a eco for these guys, for All Gamers, the other thing that they've done is swap the roles of these 2 players. Delby's gone over to be Sentinel full time, it seems, and Spitfire's the ex-Rare Atom sub. It's going to be over on Duelist. As for DRG, we say goodbye to Dingwei for now, who was like the silver player in place of Xion. So I guess, yeah, they're maybe going to be playing a lot more like double controller stuff. Like Viper Harbor here, maybe Omen Viper on stuff like Sunset, and Nick DRGL is moving from sort of being a flex player to just being main initiator. That's what it looks like.
然后直接打一波进来 ，DLB 是先被混掉了一点血量啊。
来了，近点，想要通过海盾完成爆能器的安置。
Yuchen being head coach, I think that would make a lot more sense. Like Yuchen knows the players pretty well.
DLB 也收人了，见缝插针。
Like knows a lot about playing in game 2.
进不来啊，本身自己的枪械就比较劣势，再加上还是那个问题，两边都是双控场。哦，这样的话。 Bont 再把 Nick 给收掉，只剩下 Vokash 一个人，自己其实已经是队伍里面最好的火力配置了，正义加上轻甲，但是没有办法，没有更多的一个交火的机会交给他。
这一分也可以看看 Vokash 的手到底热不热啊？因为现在正义打长枪的压力是很大的，
练枪了，现在就是
来
想要捡到这个爆能器是非常困难的。
先把弯道摸通，后续有没有侧身机会没有？哇
，Team Ace and Flawless. Who you got winning this series? I'd probably say DRG. I think that this feels I'd say like in average for the community, a lot of people would be really down and out on All Gamers. but I'm not as much. I think that like, cause somebody like came in here just like what 5 minutes ago was like, is all gamers like the worst team in China, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think they've got a really good team. It just takes time to set it all up. But there's a chance that like all gamers can win this series, and also all gamers can actually go on and do some pretty good stuff. It's just the same problem as Wolves, where it's like you don't really know what the hell's like going on.
前顶啊，直接给 Vokasu 在互流之后给抓掉了，而且这个闪的效果还是非常不错的。差一点点，可惜是一把獠犬啊，而且感觉 DRG 还是有所防备在的。
其实我觉得打残了也行，因为现在
So bonus now, and they've already lost Vokasu.
小枪还是偏多一点的。
And DRG kind of doing the thing that they said that they wanted to do less, which was just like 5-man executing places. Just straight rushing. I don't know why they're spamming that, but somebody might need to at Lexi. Or I could just mod like Geekess and just let them tidy shit up.
试用期也是打掉了2人，并且尼克补掉 Bounty 之后，这波近点美如画呀。
Shame that you sort of get the first kill and then get bodied out, but you are up against the full buy, and it's only the one that they lose with Vokasu. I mean, it's only Luke that takes more damage from it.
实际上我们会感觉后续 DRG 在拿到了一个手刹优势之后，5个人的堵点已经是堵到对手4个人了。但是有的时候你就会发现 DRG 就是这样的队伍。
Yeah, it's always a bit tricky, I suppose, with
包括如果换成可能其他队伍，他们会考虑在当时去进行一些转点动作，但是 DRG 很坚定。
I mean, it's like a couple of bots from the look of it.
而且打出了效果。
2楼 Luke 这里上2楼帮忙队友拉到的这个枪线也相当的关键。其实我们刚刚看到瞥到一眼海神这个视角，Sean这里有点危险的，但还好在2楼的 Luke 已经是及时的帮他解决掉了一个枪线。
那么就要来到 AG 的关键分了，也是确认的成枪。现在前点位通过瀑流去做控制，那此时前点位其实拿到了奇乐的信息。
The full buys on either side, you got the reckoning from Monk as well.
虽然看上去危险，但最后的一个结局是只掉了1把枪。
Pushing up, clearing the turret.
是有非常大的一个存续的。
Just good protocol so far.
我觉得 AG 目前的变化是有的。
I'd have kicked them, but what can I do? I mean, yeah, I can maybe sort out mod stuff. Like, I'll do it in the break, because I'm recording this for Sliggy's channel, right? So I don't want to
也已经是给了。探测到了黄香位置没有人的，而且有狂潮，还有独木。现在对于黄香位置 ，AG 其实是有点担心的，他们是不清楚黄香有没有对手的。
Bad attitude, not here too. Is it just everywhere?
是抱团打一波 A 点只有单挂 Speedfires。
哦，这个时候再给出灵眼修探，知道黄香没有人了，那这个时候应该要意识到 A 点可能要被进攻了。
哦，有一定的提前量回防的情况。
This is it's similar to a Sadak setup that he has. Reckon it's good to be used. They get the kill onto Xion just beforehand. Really nice fight from Spitfires. I actually like Monk being aggressive here too.
马路正中央的位置啊。
I think this duo of like Monk and Bunt, because they were on the same team of attacking Soul, like I was really hyped to see them play actually. Ooh, Nick, okay. He has to 1 versus 5 if he wants to get this. Oh, he might. Oh my god, he might. There's no time though, 10 seconds. Assault 9 isn't running away. He's stuck. He can't like... And he just doesn't expect him there at all. Oh my god, it's just 3 rounds into this, and we've already seen one of the most unbelievable rounds that we've ever seen in Tier 1. I actually can't believe he 1 versus 5 aced. Is that the first ace of VCT China? It is for stage... No, it isn't. For neither like stage 2 or like altogether. That's a crazy ace. The first 2 were really good. The second 2 was like, oh dear. And then the 5th was just, sometimes was just not aware. Oh my god. That's your IGL as well. What is it with IGLs in this region just getting fucking ridiculous aces?
但后续 B 区的前压能否绕到背身是一个未知数。中路正面也在顶，但是 Nick 又完成了补枪。
It forces him onto an eco too. Sorry, I just need him. I need a minute to recover from what we just saw.
看到了抱拳这个金刚环的位置了。哇，两个人是一起啊，秀恩和 Luke。
The spacing is a little bit like this is with a lower bind, not too much, but the awareness I think of like how all gamers were playing this before.
哇，我觉得
not great.
前2分就是DRG拿的这2分，对于 AG 来说都很难受，就又有一点回到了当时起点赛那种感觉，就是我的部署已经
Just lurking around to see if he can catch anybody out here.
你突然会有这样的。
I mean, he wants to die to the spike no matter what.
AG 来说，他们要开始去想 Plan B 了。
And if they could help it, I mean, all of these ultimates, you definitely don't want Vukashi to get the kill, get closer to a lockdown. Xion could obviously work their way up towards Reckoning, but that's what they're going to be doing. Oh, what a start.
这一分其实就没有太多悬念了嘛，其实两边都有去做一些博弈。首先是守方的前顶，但是没有顶出效果，然后接着就是残局的一个1比4了。
What even was like? What does the word mean that they were spamming?
选择要去打一个非常规。但是 Monk 其实是在
I don't want to even say it out loud because it's probably not a good word.
多了啊，前5个回合
It's either super dumb or probably something that you shouldn't say.
这个对于 DRG 来说也是一个可以收集到的信息了。
是的。
Alright, full buy's back again. Use the Reckoning, the last full buy that you had. You probably should have won the round. Showstopper for Spitfires though. This has been good at least from all gamers being able to fight this. They haven't gone to break the turret this time. But like they don't need to. But they have good stuff almost coming online. I mean, Bun's just listening out. Knows that the Cascade has gone up. Orb's been picked up.
前点也没有激进的想要
But is that
时间就控到黄香啊。第2局这里还是这个慢慢来。
KO Knife coming in to just get some information. Gonna shut all of this Viper stuff down.
那后续 B 区安包其实还是要依托海豚。
I do like this like lurk up here too, just because now you had an inclination that people were still here. KO Knife gets information. You got the rotate, so maybe the Viper being able to push and catch rotations here would be good. The only problem is you got the alarm bot watching here and then the turret watching in kitchen. So TZH is just hoping that somebody hasn't put utility here, that they might just come and like peek him to get info. But all gamers giving him absolutely nothing. 30 seconds, there's too many people stacked up here. The turret being broken is good because it is going to stall these guys out from rotating. But you don't have a Viper wall for A, you got the Harbor wall to come in, recon that, see if anybody's on site. Nade and Showstopper, this could stall the plant, right? As soon as it gets tapped. Actually doesn't use it to stop the plan, just gets the kill onto Vukashi, but 5 versus 3. You have got a Hunter's Fury, so Nick is just chilling out here a bit more. 2 people just playing around this cove as much as possible. Alright, good retake. I like the idea from Xion. It's a very Forsaken-esque, like, putting a cove here for something to play around. But I also really like that all gamers didn't break it, they just held. Basically until they got some of the other kills. Like, alright, we got everybody else, let's just break this cove and fight whoever's like in here or around it.
可以看到，目前看来近点连掉2人的情况下，残局几乎是没机会的。
是。
Yeah, very nice.
有回复，有无效命令，这一分 AG 依旧是有筹码可以使用的。目前在三东港 ，AG 的选图里两边打的是不可开交。
Showstopper reckoning on attack again.
接近的 AG 依然还是想要去发挥他们在战术和对于对手针对上面的一个优势的。DRG 的前几分很多都是有这种。 有点不讲道理的个人能力的一个爆发了。
对，
这其实还真的是有一点2个。
It's so hard to play up against this comp, like mirrored, I suppose.
第2季的转点还是偏少一些，因为就包括
because you have to respect these harbor walls, you can't flash through them because you don't have a gecko or a KO.
看来的话 ，AG 他更多时候在听到你打哪一边，立刻就会做一个重防，因为你几乎是不会转点的。
对 ，AG 这里感觉也捕捉到。
Also here, like all gamers, not the usual comp.
对吧？哎，但此时好
because they don't have the silver, they just have the KO.
首先是 B 区推了一个铺流控前点，第2时间交了个无人机。
So solo initiated KOs
不算特别足
，kind of a good idea.
要鉴于其实两边都是单先锋了，给上一个小型无人机已经是这个属于第2季能给的最大的尊重了。
OK，
那前点感觉有骗到吗？看一下 Swarnight 其实是来到了 B 点。
I just feel that
现在应该是要知道打 A 了。
Tried and tested stuff on this map isn't as appreciated as much as it should be.
这个位置其实有很多出枪机会。
Good position for Luke to be in. Knows that there was somebody heaven too, so maybe could have got the spray and got another one.
能够潇洒
It was the most based name.
还是这样的一个
There's a play called Free for All in Tier 2.
安置下来之后会有非常大的优势能够去守。
I'm pretty sure there's a play called I'm Better as well.
像命令去打这一波回防，回复能不能覆盖一下？
I know that there's a Tier 2 team called Boring Player.
同时 A 区前点位，哦呦，先打一个试用期，不错的。第二时间贴脸再往下摸，头顶有
And
人。
this Fury finally used.
过去了，
没搜到。
All of the fights coming in.
卢克连打3个
Like Luke and Fukashi trying to fight this together, bunts on their own.
挑一个背身
Doesn't see TCH in this corner.
你要进来。
I mean, so far this is like end-to-end stuff.
还不错的 timing， 但是还是那个问题，就是你进攻方安置了2楼爆能器以后，自己有太多位置可以去守了。
I think from even like the games yesterday, with like how Wolves played some parts of it,
经验里看，他会选择在安王
like TYLOO and Billy.
但是呢，其实
There's definitely more like EMEA inspiration, I think, in China's play in comparison to before.
打掉对方的回防成员，再去回撤。
Like it is a lot slower than it has been previously.
后段也有人，而且这张地
But in all game is timeout.
杰锋的一个优势在了，他自己有这个一个漂移的被动，他能够来到一些比较轻松的来到一些非常规的位置。明显刚刚这个位置就是在对手头上有一点点没有意料到了。
他是搭配了队友的独木嘛，他在广告牌上凭借这个一些身位上的错漏去抓到了侧身。
对的。
此时 AG 也是叫出了暂停，虽然说现在分差没有拉太大，但是第二季此时的进攻这种打法可能让 AG 有点难以招架了。
是我们看到这一波对于第二季来说，他们是一个成功的拉扯，用这样的一个枭雄无人机是成功的骗到了 AG 第一时间的回防，导致说他们其实进点以后是基本点内没有太多的这个。
Seeing this, I want Riot to honestly design their map that doesn't make the team just fall back and spam free smokes.
战术的广度也体现出来了，我有转点战术，我也有 fake 战术，并且我会穿插着来打。那这种时候 AG 会有点摸不着。
I think at the very least, what I would like is
就是安置一个
essentially for there to be more like UI things to show whether somebody's been sprayed for a smoke or not. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
看来的话，整体问题还是集中在安包这件事情上，千万不能让第二季完成爆能器安置，不然他们有太多手段去守住这个包了。
而且其实目前来说啊，第二季赢下的这几个回合基本上都是对于 A 点的一个进攻，
没错
，B 点都是 fake 一下。
再就是回到比赛，现在3比4的比分 ，AG 中路再次做控制，但是 A 区是4人重防，这一分枪械劣势啊，近距离交火可能会有些机会。
好像还是就是想要去推一波 A 啊，但是 A 点又是5人重防来了，10个人要在点里面去打了，看到了有一条腿。
Right, dashes in.
是的，爆拳引发，
Just going back in on it.
连敲2颗。
Oh my God, Del B.
被试用期补掉，枪械。
I mean, we need to see it from their POV. I don't know how they've managed that.
第3时间试用期3杀到手，有个背身的机会好像没看到。
2个海
在高点
互相找，
搜了没？搜到了，但是 Mark 敲头了，一口翻分。
I don't know what they said in the timeout, but Jesus fuck.
成功的堵到了，又是10个人点内的大混战。
对，
但是这一定对于防守方来说，如果堵对了点，防守方在枪线。
It was the most based name in. Oh yeah, answer that. Sorry.
包括其实我觉得雕 B 的这手枪3杀也非常的关键。看一下视角，就是一颗。
Oh my God, he almost got 4.
他其实打掉了很多关键成。
Just narrowly missed a shot onto. Who would it be? Luke.
这样的一个。Eco 的一个
nice response, especially after the timeout.
来说很关键，很关键。
Eco can't really go much better.
上半场的比分去一边倒，我们看到第二季其实经济也没有想象中那么好，两边的比分是相当交错。
Knife from all the way back here to get information.
和雕 B 都有全面封锁，但是作为进攻方呢，全面封锁可能会被迫要先交，因为他需要去抢占控制。
Shion's picked up the op. They're one away for TCH.
可能也会是当前这一分的关键点。
对，而且同样的全面封锁在一定程度上会克制到回复，两边的回蛇其实回复也都快。
Pacific and China have the best share for Guardian users, yeah. They're some crazy aim players.
已经是把黄腔侵占到一半了。
哎，这 Luke 摸得好快，就差点抓到一个侧身。
这直接赶紧珠峰回来了。但是这波 B 点到底是不是要打呢？我们看到棒的手里的2个舌吻还在，他特别稳。
How's Bunt looking this far? I mean, good. I think Bunt and Monk have been really good on this squad.
第二时间回防在远端。
Like Monk was a very like aggressive player beforehand. For attacking Soul. Like on the roles that he plays, a little bit more aggressive than you'd expect. Lockdowns either side though on this B plant, and what 5v5?
保证会不会被雪人区的人给抽啊？路这里要调整一下位置的，
烟雾很重要。最后1秒的时间先撤，但是看到人了，雕 B
good fight from DLB. Like, there's no utility for this corner. Like, no molly, no nanoswarm, no nade, which could have come in nicely. So DLB just clears it themselves. And they all push in. All behind the cascade, all behind coves. DLB, really good fight from him.
确实太低了一点，
姗姗来迟了有点。卢克这个地方可能会比较可惜，因为他们的战术部署就是让卢克一个人留这儿，但是可能就是在
Once Fukashi gets warmed up, easy dub for DRG. I like Fukashi. I mean, he's an incredible player. But I think for DRG, the one thing I want to see is just the whole team perform better as a squad. I don't want to see what I saw with like losing against FPX, where if Fukashi gets shut down, then everything else kind of falls apart. Because he's so much of a carry.
看当前这一分，现在是混起的一方变成了 DRG 啊，那这个3把长枪，其实正面火力是足够的。
哦，人好多。
先走。
看了一眼。
Delby's been pushed hard. Any reaction to this? The Reckoning is a really nice one.
这是防守方的一个抱拳。
Makes this a really awkward fight to just go and push. A hell of a response from all gamers. This looks incredibly clean.
这怎么可能？
正好又不好补枪，这个狂潮画出来以后，你说他队友 Look 在里面也不好从里面直接拉出来。我 Delby 好来劲儿，
好像他确实发挥变得更加亮眼了。
对，
那这个选位上的转变，看来是一个正收益。
幻影魅力时刻，就这种距离的幻影，好爽，多接的能力确实是非常强。
包括他其实处理了更多。
So confusing seeing Zero Silver on Icebox. I mean, it's more common now. I don't like agree with it. I guess no.
打进来，主要还是面对上了对手有一个抱拳在。
I'm definitely like open to the idea of teams experimenting. I suppose.
对他走不了了。
Right, like I feel like there is room to try stuff out. Like I liked Team Liquid's comp yesterday with the Harbor Gecko. But I don't, especially for new teams, I don't know why you just don't go for the tried and tested stuff. Like you don't need to. I feel like just maybe coaches at this point are just going for a period where they want to like make their print on the game. Like I've seen maybe how like for somebody like Anders to cook up comps and like have them be meta, and for like using him as an example because I think he's really the only one. Like of a coach that sort of cooked up comps that have become mainstays. I feel like everybody's trying to do that. Like almost like they're trying to prove their worth as coaches by coming up with stuff that's a little bit harder to anti-strap.
上半场还有这个回合和下一个回合。
Yeah, I'm a bit sort of worried about like all gamers attacking, I suppose. Because like if you're DRG, you just like play these positions, right? You just 50-50 angles everywhere. At least with a Gecko Flash, you get some form of info. Like KO Knife is just the only form of intel is crap.
我的天，这个混烟
Fukashi's not buying armor.
换了一个安全点的位置安，我卡鼠的血量
I guess he just can't afford it. Like they've decided to force up and buy it.
我卡鼠能走吗？现在如果有
And they've used the Viper's Pit here, but they've planted like inside.
在这儿了呀，博开鼠也只有一滴血。
棒的是能回复叠回复的，而且爆能器是在
That's a little bit worrying.
开始了，棒他收掉了我卡鼠，现在只有回复中的2人，尼克连扛2人，这一波他能兜住吗？
对，但是这个回复挡在这里，他们是没有办法管到这个爆能器的。这个爆能器是一个在回复里完全
Recon all the way backside.
黄香了，唐志浩顶了一个。
想要进来
哦
Yeah, TCH just farming them up one at a time.
保持距离，2个人你退我进，你进我退。唐志浩
Good, I guess, recorrection from DRG. It's a little bit worrying when you like have the Viper's Pit and you can't plant in it for one.
对，而且唐志浩残局非常稳，他刚刚这一波是
1-1 save to GE. Yeah, keep me updated on the scores for the other games.
这一分其实有很多很多的伏笔。首先试用期
Oh, they tried to like plant in a cove out of the Viper's Pit. So it wasn't even like because I thought like, you know, Fukashi, Russian player, doesn't speak much Mandarin. Understandable, like if he gets panicked and forced to plant in that corner. But you're seeing what Shion plant here in a cove. It's further up, right? It's like here. Like the Viper's Pit hit this like corner. And Viper's Pit now used on defensive B main. You got an alarm bot there to help.
但想要强闯回复还是有难度啊。上半场最后一分还是先稳一些。
Who's DRG's IGL again? It's Nick.
而且我们要看一
Nick
下
and Sod9 are the IGLs.
依然还是有终极技能的，自己的晚焰火是准备就绪的。
A 区呢已经给到了前点位的狂。
Yeah, Vukashi's funny with how he like buys armor and what he buys on like
中路，但是中路刚刚
like watching his stream on like Twitch and stuff.
这要去打
The amount of times that he just goes like no armor, no utility, sheriff, when like on an eco.
那在魁父里面的魁蛇应该是会看到的。
哎，排站摸过去了。
This is a good adjustment though, I think, because you are like stretched thin.
能看一下了，提中路的位置了，卢克强。
There's a good position for really good position for Del B to be in. I think that that's got to be expected a little bit more. Also, the hard wall didn't actually cover under, so Del B just has a free sightline once that Viper's orb goes down.
满闪 Nick 的位置已经被发现了，而且还要再丢一个闪，哇，自己四面是人，这一次对于他来说真的很困难了。这个回合跟
Yeah, very nicely done.
战术是应该是一样的，对的。
So far, the quality of this map has been good.
问题是在于我们看到 DLB 的一个 timing， 他的一个
I think the 1v5 ace is a question. Like this, like having this amount of a gap here. Like Vukashi just wasn't ready to watch it. But he's worrying about Tube and maybe watching behind. It's a silly killjoy ult now. I didn't even really pay attention to it, but yeah, like it's... It was like pretty much as the plant went in, so yeah.
与其静候时机，不如主动出击。
对的，
更多的时候要去考虑怎么去限制对手的发挥了。
Who 1v5 ace? Nick.
攻方给出的一些进攻战术
I don't know if we have a clip of it.
化解的非常不错的。哎，我们来看一下我们这一次中场有的这样一个新的环节，对，可以模仿我们的这个喷漆啊，有些非常可爱的这个喷漆 ，Skin Please。Skin
Please 吗？我以为是想要把狂徒呢。 啊，同样对于选手来说，这种时候还是需要去绷紧自己的神经。上半场并不是一个很大的比分，对于DRG来说，赢下首枪分就能够追平。这个也很可爱啊。
Quiet map for the Russian goat Vukashu. Being played Sentinel on this map is incredibly difficult. You don't have the same freedom as you would do on other maps, I suppose.
首枪局及其附属后面的一个回合
Like to lurk.
能够去追回来的，对于两边来说都还有可以操作的空间。
And I think one of the things for like DRG, if they're a little bit under pressure, is they tend to group up. I think you could play him lurking more, but it's not like he's a lurking kind of sentinel. It's just he's so good mechanically. You almost just want him on those slight hits because he's good at being like the secondary entry. Like he's good at playing off the duelist because his aim is that good. It was a great 1v4. It was a bit of both, I'd say. It was amazing from Nick, like some of the shots to hit, but there were parts of it that sort of like left you scratching your head from AG's POV.
来到下半场，两边攻防互换，由 AG 担任进攻方，由 DRG 担任防守方。看一下两边手枪局的博弈。
而且还有一个点是我们刚刚
I have it on
提到的 DLB 选手真的来到上位前方了，豪爽，就是纯就对枪。
I'll just put it here for now.
但是现在从进攻方角度来说，他要承担更多自由
人，转到了以后，依然转好了以后，发现了好像没有人，很快的一个。
Oh my god, it's playing in the background. I got really confused. I thought I paused it, but I guess not.
接人的时候，这种非常完美的手感。
A 区如出一辙的狂潮控前点，但第二时间进攻方是有。
Same sort of default on defense, pushing here. KO knife good for this kind of reach.
这一波过点的技能给的还挺足。
TZH 这里的起技能的情
I mean, this could be a really interesting default. Like, I'm very curious on how like DRG try to like work it out because I think they've got the right idea of like, all right, they used the KO knife towards B. They don't really have anything else. We could push up to A. But we don't need to overextend. Like, let's see what kind of default AG are playing, because right now it's just, yeah, you know, prodded towards B, but they still have, like, the Killjoy and Raze waiting over in this direction. Just trying to have a different HUD, yeah. I don't know why. Like, the text numbers are a bit different. The scoreboard, like, the full scoreboard shows how many timeouts each team has. Which I don't know why the main UI, the main HUD doesn't have it. Like, I think that's such a... It's not like you're putting it in place of something else. I'll show you it when it comes up. Great damage to the Spitfires.
，Luke 很想找到这个击杀，但是自己也处于一个很危险的位置。第二时间近点挂神，但是试用期藏在点内有侧身。
Bit of an awkward fight for
棒子反手收掉 Luke， 再接一个。混战之下，好像人数优势的是 DRG， 1打3残局该怎么办？沃卡什
clean everything else though。
他也开始发力了，
是来到了这个 沃卡什。
So it's 1-all on pistols, isn't it？
没有很多需要前进压力的时候，也有这种可以去点小球的一个机会。刚刚爆能器可能想要去往前走。
But the China HUD was like a completely different color because of the like color red and stuff being such a. I don't know if regal's the right term, but it's a very like special color in China. Like naturally, everything in China like loves the red color scheme. But it means that they can't like they don't like to use red for bad colors, I suppose. Like that's why they have like blood censored out, or like they changed the color of blood to white because you know. In Chinese stock market, red means up while green means down. Yeah, I mean like it's. It's culturally such an important color for them. So they changed it so the red color was more like a yellow or a purple.
一甩，徐永琪还好是把小火龙给摘掉了，不然这局要出问题。
I refuse to believe it. I don't know that for certain, but it's more. It is very akin to what like China seems to do with like color schemes.
后续只剩棒子了，棒子的位置也被发现了，那这一波就没什么。
Because I think also part of it is like they don't want the color red because they don't want their team to be cheered against because they're not the red team.
他们有2把手枪。
那接下来这一分奖励
But I guess like Riot's argument here is you both get to play on attack. So you both get to be the red team at some point. She unsaved it. Yeah, it kind of had to. It was looking very messy beforehand.
两枪头部命中，用自己这个丝滑的小走位。
实用期就很关键了，他
They'll be 16-9.
三杀稳定住了局。
Hasn't really worked out role-wise for Spitfires. I think the good thing, I suppose, is that if
枪械啊都是数位为主，同时我看是正义啊是狂徒。
all gamers it still doesn't work, it's easier, I guess, to replace a duelist than it would be for like a good sentinel.
这
再走一点点就要。
And you can't get an import either because Delby's
前挪一点。
Singaporean, I think. Maybe Indonesian. Like he's from APAC.
那
Yeah, good hold, good default.
你陆克喜欢压，那我就加你。
真是
Yeah, it's
我觉
Indonesian.
得这一个点是 AG 有捕捉到的，
反应很快。
对于 A 点的信息收集 ，DRG 更多的选择是让 Luke 用很激进的一个前压去收集到你对手到底有没有打。
What language did DRG communicate in? Full Chinese, like it's full Mandarin.
已经是付出了一些代价在了。
那必须现在也有一些动静，知道蝰蛇在。刚刚又听到一个消
Like
息。
genuinely, there's no like English in there. Like it's just all Chinese unless they need to specifically talk to Bukashu.
动静去做出一个 fake 的假象。
是，给了自己2个技能在。
第二时间 H 要推到了。
Like this is one of the teams that has brought in an import and not like changed their comms to just be like all English or half English. Like
很多烟选择藏后点，拼一个短距离交。
Bukashu is just in it.
到脸上了，还选择先退。
Like you literally see Bukashu like ping in areas of the maps and having his teammates stand in it.
爆能接安置，但是第二时间引发的爆拳逼退
A
了。
man's played StarCraft trying to set up people.
试用期打一个，棒子有补枪，然后也有2个击杀，好像没有太多时间了。
那这样好像爆能器有点安置不下来了，就在左边。
吊臂3杀到手，第4个能找到吗？那个打掉了对手，但是
Oh man, nice clutch from Delby too.
完成了4杀。
This is a good bonus though for DRG. But it's just one player that survives.
只有去解决对手，因为他要去。
Bukashu's just the guy singing payphone, or he's the guy sweating, spamming like the keyboard.
小火龙从另一侧支援过来了，把人架在中间。
Depends on the day.
这一分 AG 的进攻其实很有层次感，他留了一个决斗者在必须造假动静和摸牌。
Very nice, like first kill.
吊臂一把幻影定乾坤啊，4杀到手，
好恐怖。 这个回合是相当关键的一个回合，但是我们还是不得不说的是，这个长
How does Bukashu keep up with that? I mean, he is playing Sentinel, so a lot of the stuff that he does is kind of on his own.
目前看来是出现了一些混起的情况。
It's just like ranked, right? Nobody talks.
相对靠后的一个
Oh, he
还是选择了更加劣
he
势
just deafens everybody and just plays his own game.
前点位的烟雾阻隔确实也是让 AG。
I think this is a bit worrying though. Like DRG, if you're in a position where you're using drone this early, you're saving like recon for the execute. So as soon as they come in, you recon like here, they all get pinged.
唐昭浩好像有点想去抓背身。
And then what you've got, I thought you might have the operator here with just this position, but like a double stack holding here.
对 ，DRG 在 B 点没有选择特别贪的往前。
KW just like comp, yeah.
没有收集到比较多信息上面。
He's from EMEA ranked, he knows.
就是 AG 哎，第二时间要来了，对。
这波感觉要打了，要来看一下怎么打了。进来，我看说已经是把 DLB 先给接掉了，上2楼，这样上。
Flash just didn't hit. It didn't matter. Spitfires is just gonna barrel through people. Okay, he's here. You got a Spectre and a Bulldog.
要对枪了。 看一下我看数的一个位置。
This almost feels more like a bonus here with how this has been going, but it's pretty much a full buy up in some cases.
正面稍微做点动静，让唐指导来也可以。
Walls up, Spitfire's just out waiting. There comes the flank from TCH. IGL Sword 9 in his own clutch with a Spectre, knows that they're behind. You can play time a bit more. You don't have the gun for this.
没有一个捡枪的机会啊。
但是这个包是不是不好守啊？他想换位。
Yeah, perfect. Actually, really good response.
开低，小心头顶。
Oh, and going over the top too. Really well played from Sword 9. Got very close.
这个就是经验。
But I really like the decision to just sort of get out of there and just play time more than going for a fight.
有一点点赌的成分在哪？就如果说这是一个假低的话，他会挺危险。一旦对手靠后架枪，他的害灵是没有什么发挥空间的。
是，但是他一直保持在了一个。
These are really close rounds, but it's been a fantastic map. I thought that this would be a little bit more, I guess.
那现在比分的优势来到了 AG
这一边
，DRG 进入到了经济上的
one-sided
如
perhaps.
何扭转呢？其实我觉得手枪局对于这支队伍来说，他们枪难很多，翻分的。
You got an eco now.
一样需要去小心。已经贴到了脸上。
Already one with a shotty. Oh, and you just run right onto that angle with Xion. Again, because you don't have the drone, this is something the DRG could just keep fighting for. You're going to get so much value with just either having the operator positioned here or... Because if they just... Really, they're only going to keep KO knifing this. So if you could like actually get ahead of it... Oh, as they KO knife, if you're back here, KO knife just go into that space afterwards. They can't recheck it.
纪律性上面还是会做得非常的不错的，就是如果你前面不去低这个爆能器，剩下的人就我枪很大的优势，感觉想要来试一下。
Yeah, Vikashi just a bit further ahead before they can really do much more damage, so there's only 2 kills.
搜集和转化很迅速。刚刚地图上出现了一个pin点，那也就是当时远端 Nick 的位置，然后应该我记得应该。
Nihao read it, but unlucky.
其中一人完成了混烟击杀。
They just go by TZH.
没有，就是你是手枪局，然后直接举着短炮就8脚步冲到你脸上了。
Can't remember what Nizam means.
风格就是如此，但是此时比分分差。
I think it's like smoky or something like that. Smoky.
举起了出来，看看能否造出一些改变。
上个回合还好，但是前2个回合 AG 是险之又险的赢了下来，但是只要赢下来，现在他们的比分已经来到了2位数。 明居要看明居架哪里了 ，TZH 在1楼的位置已经帮忙解决掉了1人。
是的，第二时间狂烈之怒直接架设想要抓，但是没抓着。烟散，这过点 Monk 应该不太敢过的。现在
4v5 now, you've already lost Spitfires. Right kind of thing though, DRG just keeping pressure in B main as much as they possibly can.
而且他们这个阵容啊，之前就好像说到一点是，他们没有选择到
because of that first kill, it's gonna keep the operator glued over here. But like you kind of need to. That's the only like downside, I suppose, is just with how powerful this is without a drone, means that the jet has to be there all the time. How hard are my AG guts dominating DRG? They're playing better for sure. This is their map pick, and Vikashi got suppressed. I think the wall just slowed him enough. Like knows the timing, but because that harbor wall like slows you for half a second, it just caught him half a second later. Why did they null command? I don't hate the idea realistically, because if you win this, DRG are on an eco again. Like, just save, don't push. No, I think DRG, like, they've used 4 ultimates. Just be like, alright, you have this round. We're gonna just save our guns and go next. Because you push in, you die, now you're on an eco, and all gamers should be able to get to 12. Is a solo KO on Icebox cooking? I wouldn't necessarily say so.
下一分的影响不是很大，因为我们可以注意到 DRG 的经济是已经见底。
Like it's okay. I think just a silver would be better.
是很大的，但是这样的一个投资，我觉得一是换到了相当关键的比分，再然后把本身 DRG 不好的一个经济就打得更加崩溃了，
难受的。下一分只能做混起，一旦混起没有稳住翻盘的话，
The fact that both teams are running like Harbor Viper is surprising.
叫出了暂停。
I just no team that we've seen so far in China is playing like the old like Sage comp.
比赛内他们是能抓住 AG。
These I mean swamp in Chinese. Oh yeah, it's like swampy TCH.
他知道 DLB 或知道 Speedfires 很有可能会从这个位置拉出来，但是第二时间在对方进点的过程中却没有给到太多阻碍了。
是。
The second time up for DRG.
11的比分啊，我们发现今天的这场比赛里面 ，DRG 好像能够去用自己不讲道理的个人能力去。
Yeah, I feel like if you're DRG there, it's just
越拉越少。
Once the reckoning comes out, because they used the Killjoy ult to get in on site, they used the Viper's Pit on the plant, they then used the K ultimate, not really off of anything, I don't think. So maybe you could have just been like, they've used 3 ults, and then the reckoning, as soon as the reckoning's used, I'm like, oh, let's just go. Like, give them the round, save our guns, make sure we have a good full buy, because we have like good ultimates, and they only have Showstopper now. I say only, but like all of these used in 1 round. Feels like a free map game. Yeah, potentially. It was all free mappers yesterday.
那这样的话其实是偏稳的打法，因为 A 区对面渗透的是最快或者最有机会抓住击杀的。
It's kind of a good recon actually.
关键逐风是没了。
Just gets like the top of this, so if anybody like tries to like eke out into this space.
狂潮和瀑流是进攻方这里的瀑流，防守方的一个狂潮在前点有非常多的交互，而且巡离剑。
Because you got sunset and then you've got breeze.
暴露出来我 A 点到底前点有多少人，是给到了 DRG 现在来说防守 A 点。
And even though this is DRG's pick, I do kind of like fancy all gamers on that map. If they manage to win this, I think Sunset's really like theirs for the taking. If they lose Sunset and it goes to Breeze, I'm leaning more towards DRG at that point.
他能够强行踩住某一个范围，让你不敢来碰我。
是。看一下这个回合准备怎么去推进啊？第二时间准备来到 B 点。 这个回合还
I guess I'm not as high on DRG as other people are.
知道 TZH 还有比较多的技能在这边可以去拖，直接选择晚宴我来找人了。
能看到吗？头顶。
I thought they would have expected TZH being up here, because you saw them try to break the knife.
再给出来，这第二时间好像有点不好进来了，两个车稳都给出，爆冷器只能去滴一下，有人在穿 TZH。
That doesn't necessarily tell you that they're up here, but like this is the better place to play up against a KO, because like if there's a KO knife that goes on the top of the yellow, you can't break it from that side. They have no time, they have to save. They got absolutely stalled out.
但有点不影响局面了，最后也被时间拖干。
Luke 的任务是去搞把枪，
能搞到吗？
搞把枪。
哎，风奈早了。
I think it's the whole like, oh, we're on a anti-eco, we can go B.
这个回合的，其实我刚刚有想说一个伏笔，但是又怕被大家说。
That's all it seemed to like come down to.
比较难搜的位置就是 B 点这个位置，会有一点不好去搜，因为如果是 A 点的话，它的障碍物其实是会比较多的。
They just couldn't get the plan down.
飞得够好的话，我会好搜一点，但是在这个位置2楼，你第一时间不跳2楼，就会有点看不到2楼的位置。
其实我一开始也以为是要飞2楼的。
Alright, bit more fight back. No time else left for DRG to just use the last one. And like, yeah, ultimates here.
TZH 这个回合可以说是用自己的操作
Bit tricky now.
为队伍撑下了非常关键的一回合，因为这个回合是消耗掉了小火龙的终极技能。
对，并且中位技能的优势也来到了第二 G。
Any other real adjustments? Yeah, not really. You've got the alarm bot to speed back a little bit for elbow.
很难过的。
是。这个回复非常长，而且还是那个问题，就是你是
It
KO 的话，
broke
你很难
this,
抓回去。
but
你
was
是有说法去硬抓
is it
的。
a Nana Swarm? Could have been.
标到了，对吧？就穿一穿。
Most likely.
对的。
但是 KO 它只有一个比较模糊的这个位置或者区间。
但是他在前点自己放了一个，我们看到 DLP 是放了一个。
It's a shame that all gamers didn't sort of try to prod this a bit more. If you had an owl drone, it would be a lot easier.
自己的这个回复里面。
But just there's no support for the Vipers. If you actually do get like a drone ping, manage to pick them off, it's completely open. There's no like alarm bot playing over here either, anything like that.
有两名队友在中路 ，DRG 这一分对于 A 区的这个
Just literally plug in the hole.
是更高一些的。
对的。 徐小琪自己是满技能的，而且手里还是有爆拳的。如果这波要
So is 12, 12, and 12. It's 50, 15, and 5 here. Molly's nice. Nick gets one from backside. What ultimates did they have? Gets 2. You can only just tell. Again, they're stalled out with like 10 seconds left.
雕币打了一个，但是感觉有点不解渴啊，这一分没有办法了。
That's DRG on 9. Money's now starting to look tight from all gamers. I think a timeout here would be good. Because you've 2 rounds now. One was against an eco where you've sort of run low on time and you just get stalled out. Like DRG playing the defense as it should be, like perfectly.
这个暂停还是给到了 DRG 在思路上面非常大的一个帮助啊。
我们能看到两边的暂停其实调整效果都不错的。上半场3比4比分时 ，AG 叫了个暂停之后，直接反超到了6比4了。
对。
那此时现在呢，我觉得他们可能也需要一些调整的机会或者调整的情况了。
对的。
来了，叫了。
那这样的话 ，AG 也是反拍了一手暂停，因为对于他们来说，其实。他们想要
good timeout from all gamers.
非常接近的，但是对手也追上来的分数也其实就是只差2分了。
现在
we didn't realize
互相角力的感觉。
That's what I need to double check actually.
都会有一些成效。那此时最后的一个暂停是常规时段的暂停，由 AG 这边叫出。
Whilst we have a timeout, let's watch that 1v5 ace back.
一些好的增益。
发现了黄腔没有人，很快的一个回手算法，或者
really good transfer there.
如果来到了1打3，最后的加时
sees the barrel as well from Spitfires.
这个已经4个了，而且他还保持了一个不错的血量。
And it's just, I'm surprised that Sword9 just wasn't expecting this at all.
我觉得其实来到下半场之后
A hell of a flick though from Nick. Unbelievable ace.
接人这一方面，他们是做的越来越熟练了。就其实他们在上半场自己打进攻时面对的问题，在下半场对手身上又出现了一次，就是好像往往这张地图接的人会更舒服一些。
对，两边都是枪法，其实我们都验
过了。pretty jank as well.
当你有价成优势的时候，我们看到了价点的人都
don't like choke this all gamers, please.
前点位控球
They've looked the better team for the majority of this map, but ever since they got onto 11,
差这个。终极技能还是有一点小距离在的啊，这波
they started to panic a little bit, like, oh, we're so close. Let's just get it over the line, and that's just where so many teams make so many mistakes.
很有可能会冲过来去抓这个吸球人，
正面。
Full flash Xion. But you can't. Oh, you can. Never mind. I was gonna say you can't really like follow through on that. When they do, it's just late.
是你从后段跳中段，那前段怎么去处理呢？
Yep, just holding in the right places. Was this a buy up too? What was the scoreline before the comeback? It wasn't like super one-sided. Like it's not like there was like 6 or 7 maps difference. It was like 11-7.
但是那个0点秀探应该是确定没人的，所以不太好确定刚刚到底发生了什么情况。但对于 AG 来说，不幸中的万幸是依旧有经济，但此时来到了悬崖的边缘，这一分是 AG 的关键分。
Half armor and stuff here, money's looking really good. You got the operator set up as well on this defense.
手里还有一把名狙在手，这回合想要去打中。
So now you're able to like actually push up to all of this space. Same setup with the killjoy things. Obviously the same wall every time. Are they just in front? Oh, they're on top of yellow. And you got this mid split. Fully hit by the flash. Lukashu actually gets the player lurking through gate here. And then just with all of this chaos, Luke has been able to actually just stay in this spot. Can't get cleared. Good trade. Important trade from Delby onto Vu.
只剩下 Delby 一个人了，但是他要有一个压力是在于爆能器掉在了前点。哦。 这个狂潮好像没隔到，哎，正好。
You got 2 phantoms too, so the spray. You have got time to rotate if you want.
打箭暴露位置，第二
It looks like that's what Delby's gonna do. How long until DRG realize it's a possibility?
确实，他掉的这个位置啊，他不是完全掉在了这个。
And how long until they respond?
这个墙它有一点。
But this is the right choice, though. It'd be more embarrassing if you rotate over to A and they just plant B. Like, just stay together, hold for it. If you hear the plant on A,
回防了，
just
由 DLB 可以去安下来的话，那
play
说
retake
实
that
话
way.
这是一个2级反转，这样对于防守方来说压力是蛮大的。如果刚刚暴动器还是在那样的一个位置的话，实际上局面是完全不一样的。接下来就要看DRG 这2位选手的协同了。DLB 的话手里是有纳米风群，
有一个。
Do you think she'll be able to keep up with Kang? Yeah, it's just for both teams how much they support their like star
出
duelists.
枪打这个海顿，不然的话，对吧？对面直接就拆完了。
Oh, they almost. Oh my god, that was so
如果你
close.
想要去压更多的枪，真的是比较困难
It was a little bit wank with how he like peeked and the spray that happened on the second player.
很突然啊。
Like DRG got very lucky there.
立刻完成了补枪，那关键分丢失。
Yeah, they brought Xion in. They didn't make any roster moves because they're both on the team. It was just bringing on your sub,
这个地方真的是叫做向死而生。
benching
因为他的
Ingwei.
逐风已经过了，而且他已知中路的位置已经。
But it used to be the other way around for Evolution. When they went into Ascension, they benched Xion and then
拖到
brought up Dingwei.
哦，
很关键。
通过连败补偿进行强起。
So it's like the 6-man coming in.
Bont 的话是只能搞到一把数位了。
而且整体站位变得保守了许多，不太敢去抓对面的前点位站人了。目前 AG 也是没有任何的再次调整的时间了。上一个暂停好像效果
Kenneth gets the Viper, I think, on B.
颓势，并且一旦这一分再丢，对手就要拿盘点了。
是，要来了。
干拉吗？哇！ 干拉就没。
Oh, this would be
前点没有给
incredibly sad for all gamers if they managed to let this slip.
收集到更多的信息，但是你确实要付出的代价就是你不知道对手明局在哪里的时候，你就是50-50的概率有可能要被抽掉。
但这张地图其实双烟体系
Kind of those games where you do.
空间不大的，因为你那个铺流往中段一
Like
推。
Spitfires has been dying first consistently.
看不到人的。
其实，在上个回合之
And I guess that's the one problem that all gamers don't have. Like if DRG are looking a little bit worse for wear, Vukashu can have some crazy rounds. Nick won a crazy like ace. Luke has his moments for sure. But I don't think you really have that for all gamers. Just a player that's like gonna like turn like Spitfires can't do that. I don't think to the same level.
应该是7分追到了12分啊。
7比11叫了的那个关键暂停。
So that's like a bit of a concern, I guess.
AG 现在情况有点不对了，而且我们一直知道他们其实连败已经拉满了，每个回合留下来的经济也不是很多。
是，可以看到对于明居的选位上，可能 AG 没有太强的一个预警。那接下来其实这个问题还是需要去解决的，他们永远都是有烟可用的，毕竟双烟体系。 限制住明居后续稳定的推进进点。
AG another 11-13. Oh god, yeah, you're right. Another map where like all gamers just lose.
哎，这回推了个狂潮，明居就没有什么发挥空间了。
人得往后走，因为剑九手里是有无效命令可以没收这个巨刃的。
是的，
看一下这个回合 AG。
Yeah, it's really like impressive with how DRG have pulled this back.
强势的近点中一技能的。
但是明居在铺流影响不到的地方顺爆出来。
I wouldn't necessarily say that this is like a comp difference either.
技能活，尼克开转，吊臂完成了补枪，但人数依旧是劣势，还在接，尼克一个双杀。
What's this now? 2 versus 3.
补枪，但此时又是一个2打3的。
Spike still hasn't been planted. Fake plant. See if they can get what players to waterfall out. It's a good position for Monk to be in. Really good position considering he only has a Spectre.
是的，短打长打赢了。
2 versus 2 now. Fukashu's still alive.
有机会吗？
Just peeks out. Gets both of them. All right. Really well played from DRG, but you're going to be kicking yourselves if you're all gamers. It comes back, I think, like to that round where you use 4 ultimates. And then just the attacking side not having like a silver, I suppose. But the KO, I think, was nice on defense to give you some bits of information, but on attack, it's just too many positions to clear, too many 50-50 angles. The flashes are only so good, I guess.
正面的接架是一丝不苟啊，同样的技能上的优势也体现了出来。
It's a shame because I think like all gamers, like the ideas that they seem to have are good. The way that they play together is good. I think just what they lack is a bit of that kind of like flashy power. People are good at like playing the roles, but I mean, I like LB moving over to the Sentinel instead of Duelist. I think that looks good. Spitfires, who already didn't look good playing Sentinel, didn't look that great on Duelist, I don't think. Not in comparison to other duelists that we have in the region.
不讲道理的这种个人发挥去完成破局。那 AG 的战术的针对是做得非常不错的，但是当真的比分我们看到最后是以一个11比13结束的时候 ，AG 掏了很多的办法。
But a good mental turnaround for DRG.
但是真正硬拼起
Well, being 11-7 down and being able to win 6 in a row.
接这件事上可能做的会更好一些，就无论是 AG 还是那包括现在这一波 TYLOO 这边，他在接架上他能赚出如此多的
Heartbreaking comeback for AG. Yeah, it's let it slip out of their hands, so they're still without a map. But hopefully people are starting to see what I mean, where it's like, this isn't like a complete tragic team that doesn't know what... This isn't like DFM or Global Esports-esque of just them getting bodied. Like, there's some, like, promising stuff in there. It's just always lacking something. Like, it literally came down to, like, if they don't lose that 1 versus 5 against Nick, they probably win. And like those big mistakes in the big league cost you massively, so yeah.
但是可能我们看到说换回来让小火龙来，小火龙也有点难受。
对。
Need to get on Sliggy's channel.
我觉得其实整体来看的话，在配合是不错的。来，接下来也是让我们一起听一下两边队伍，或者说甚至DRG他们在队内的语音。
还剩一。
Go，可以打。紧张方向人贼多，紧张方向跟我一起抢，一起。今点没人。
They play better than last year's main season crew. I like that you specified like main season and not playoffs. But yeah, you're right. I agree. Like, I think that it's hard to gauge because they're playing against worse teams than crew did, like objectively. But I feel like Gold Gamers have like enough to build upon it, I guess. Sorry, I'm just looking for where I saved these things.
本场比赛 MVP 也是给到了 Nick， 刚刚那个5杀也非常的亮眼，
夸张，这个是纯1打5，这个真的是
What is his like naming scheme?
包括另外提一个点，其实 Nick 他的 KDA 在整个联盟
That team went winless.
是的。
Yeah, and then they suddenly like
英雄池非常的
actually went on a run.
个人的枪法，而且自己还要承担队伍里面一定指挥的一个戏份在。
是的，两边的赛后数据也给了出来。其实 DLB 今天是一个净利局
，what was it? DRG versus AG.
对的。 LB 今天的一个发挥还是不错的，但是我们同样看到了两个人互换了位置，但是让小火龙目前来说还没有找到自己可能说以前打角的位上比较好的那样的一个手感吧。
可能现在看来，要么是两名选手可能都会更加倾向于少位发挥，要么就是这个 AG 整体的体系之下，决斗者吃的压力会比较大。
对。
Yeah.
来看一下进阶的一个数据啊，DRG 这里在率先击败上面是14比10领先于 AG 这里，王牌精锐有一个很夸张，对吧？
其实整体来看还是跟着比分走的，然后在部署获胜比上呢，其实两边差的也不多，所以这场比赛13比10依旧是非常接近的情况。这与上一次两边的交锋，我觉得会比较的接近，因为当时在日落之城也是一个13比11，也是非常接近的比分和状态发挥。
对的，我觉得对于 AG 来说很难受的一个点是，其实他们目前从这支队伍组建了以后到现在。 目前来说没有获得一个胜场，但是他们其实有非常多的比赛跟对手打得很接近，甚至比分都是非常的靠近。
Yeah, we've at least seen both teams play Sunset in the last series. Who was it that had like a crazy lead on Icebox and then lost still? I think it was Tech against JDG. It was like 10-2 half and it went to OT and they lost. So it happens. It most certainly happens.
第2场比赛呢是由 EDG 对阵京东茂 GDG， 双方
Right, I'm gonna run out because I didn't do it earlier. But
希望我们第2季在第1赛段、第2赛段能稳扎稳打，争取一步一步往前走。我们上海大师来见面吧！第2季加油
！AG 加油！希望你们可以2比0成功复仇第2季。
EDG 今天你们小心一点，京东有了新人的加入，京东加油！
DRG versus JDG. Is that their next series? DRG versus... Oh yeah, it was DRG, yeah. Crazy how stuff like that can happen, I guess. Man, this series later is going to be a good one. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop to the loo and get a cup of tea, I think. See if Beth wants one. Sorry, I'm just making sure that everything's good. That I got everything set up. It was the DRG versus Tech. Oh yeah, because it was the upper bracket game. I knew it was Tech, but I couldn't remember if it was against JDG or DRG. But yeah, BRB.
欢迎回来，您现在收看的是 DRG 对阵到 AG 的比赛现场，我是9正生。
好，大家好，我是解说1703。
是的。那目前也是来到了第2张地图，图1是以一个小比分结束了。其实我觉得会，在图1我们看到了非常多的多杀以及高光镜头的发现。
今天两边在这个枪法状态上面，我觉得都还是有非常高光的一个。发挥了，但是我觉得其实衔接到我们刚刚有说到的一个话题是 ，AG 每一次都是差一点点去赢下来了，包括像今天的这张地图，其实他们一度是拿到了11比7的一个非常大的一个优势在，但是最后也是被DRG给翻盘过来了。我觉得这个是 AG 需要去小心和注意的。
很多时候就是差之毫厘谬以千里的情况吧。其实，在下半场刚刚也提到了，就雕币的状态是出现了一定的浮动，两边的上位选手我卡属雕币，这也是我们在赛前提到的焦点选手，他们在转到进攻之后，都或多或少的出现了一些不适的情况。
对的，都一定会有影响在的，因为自己作为少尉，其实可能很多情况下第一时间没有办法参与到正面的一个对枪的对决当中来吧。
对。
但是最后的一个结果，其实我们看到了，还是由 DRG 这里成功的拿下了图1的胜利。那接下来将要来到的地图是日落之城。这张地图对于DRG 来说，他们上一次是成功的赢下了 AG， 但同样的比分又是一张非常接近的地图。
这一次两边我相信都会有一些变化。就首先在当时对阵到 AG 时 ，Look 的发挥可能作为霓虹不是特别的理想。
对，
他是否会去做一些修正？再一点 ，AG 这一边其实在当时也是一个小比分失利，但是 Bunt 的发挥非常亮眼。
对，
这一次火力输出点会依旧是 Bunt， 还是说 Bunt 以及雕币的双核体系出现啊？其实我是非常期待的。
今天首先要期待的就是这个阵容。两边会不会有做怎么样的一个调整？因为毕竟离起点赛两支队伍来说，中间还是有一段休息的一个时间在，可以供他们去更多的训练、更多的调整，或者说练出更多的一个战术来。因为上一次确实虽然是 DRG 赢下来了，但是比如说我觉得像Look 的霓虹这里，其实他不一定玩得很舒服。
对。那有没有可能换成雷兹呢？虽然说在这支从起点赛一直从这个早期，应该是我记得去年4月份就已经开始有一定稳定班底的这支队伍来说，他一直是打霓虹体系为主的，在大多的雷兹队，包括他们在以前的应该是莲花古城，他们都会拿一套霓虹体系。那他们对于霓虹体系的熟练度是已经到了一个比较高的情况了。那这时候我是否要去放弃一个很成熟的体系，去选择到另一个新的领域呢？
对的，来一起看一下吧。哇哟！这张地图出截锋其实真的会比较少一点，但是我真的是觉得，对于 Look 选手来说，他最自信的就是他的截锋。
是的，两边的阵容其实
What do they like for
还是在于铁壁、猎枭、幽影的这个三叉戟，或者说3个辅助型英雄。
Pretty sure this is the same as it was for DRG last time.
那这张地图选择到截锋的话，它对比起
雷兹的劣势在
地点，它是有比较多的拐角在，它不一定像雷兹一样能够那么的。
Sunset. Oh no, they were running Neon.
对吧？U 型弯。那没有那么
Race of a Breacher and Cypher, so that's the same for
能力可能没有雷兹来的那么强。那如果是自己的优势的话，是在于他有更多的一个在防守方或者起到明狙的一个机会，还有更加直给直白的这样的一个逐风在。
9-5 to 11-13, so it seems to be common that AG have a lead and then lose it. Did DRG win? Yes, they won a lot.
一些这种情况，他们做了很多的预设，但是突然一个结果
，choose outcome. Sorry, DRG.
是的。这样的一个调整，对于 DRG 来说是考验，是挑战。同样，对于 AG 来说，何尝又不是呢？对于 AG 来说，他们也需要去因为对手一样突然的一个
I'll stop it before we get into it though.
是的，也是即将进入到日落之城的 博弈了。这张图其实运营转点打法会居多一些，那同样的也可以玩一波流，但是一波流更多时候你一波进去了，如果你在过程中掉了太多人，基本就等于结束。
对的。
所以这张图的中路又比较的四通八达，更多队伍会选择去做运营。好的，第2张地图日落之城，这帷幕也是即将拉开，看一下两边的手枪局对决。
对，两边的这个阵容选择上面啊，刚刚其实郑生也已经提到了，
最大区别可能
就只是在于决斗位置上面的一个。
进攻方 A 区。
All right, map 2, instantly in are all gamers.
但第二时间退到后点的情况
They're attacking first on DRG's map pick of Sunset.
但是前点抢的是2个决斗，
Lost in a
想要硬磕
plus series.
其实他自己也
And there's somebody just pointing out in chat.
3个人啊
，last time that these two played on this map, AG also had the lead then and let the game slip. Narrowly 11-13 loss.
确实不太清楚在 elbow 这个位置。
So all gamers are yet to not only pick up a series in VCT China, but yet to pick up a map. But it's still early days yet. Only played 3 series, including this one. So both running the same comps. This is the same as it was. Same comp that they were running last time. But obviously just swapping out these two, I think, with the roles that they were playing. And for DRG, they were playing Neon, now they're playing Jet. Which, I don't know why Luke just doesn't run Raze here. I guess it's a good point, like Xion's playing the like main Sova.
给淹了，这波知道要打了，接架能接住吗？
给了一颗阵，往出生点的位置扔了一颗踩雷飞线，感觉这波要来了。
Two players stacked up in that same position. Big that Xion got that kill in the first place, but now what the hell is going on? You got a 2 vs 2 in a late flank. Cypher's gone down on attack, so this lurk can come in, and I don't think it's going to be expected. I don't like the Bunt is pushing this without, like, Monk. Usually these two play so well together because they've been on a team for however long. The smoke is good because it stops this lurk from happening. They might have even heard full run-in from TCH. Really good, like in the end, really good play from AG. I was a little bit worried with how like aggressively they tried to go for CT, but like how they played off of each other, like the little crossfire that they had, like in the 2v2 and the smoke, really nicely done. This is the second map. This is map 2.
AG 也是先行拿下1分。
It's currently like 1-0 to DRG.
他们需要提起士气。
这回看
And you can tell in the top.
4把正义在手。那 AG 的起枪也是我们
So full buy, full eco, not full buy.
这个步枪，1把冲锋枪和
with a buy up against a full eco.
到了封刺啊。近点有封刺。
Like this is what I mean for like Vukashu. He's bought Sheriff, no armor. He only has a camera.
封刺有非常大的优势在。
慢推，第二时间给烟。
The man just doesn't buy up utility when he's ecoing. He just goes full straight sheriff.
单挂的位置被找到了一个 ，LB 的位置倒了。
爆能器安置应该不成问题，但现在就要小心守方回防时的烟雾以及闪光。
要点内可能会有一个大混战了，或者说 AG 这里
so the smoked off B main behind.
因为自己其实有更加
Playing aggressively on the post plant. Really nice response flash, I think, that came in from Nick.
被置换了一波，我卡数有效果，但是头顶
Damage is amazing. It was definitely winnable now.
打掉了 Monk， 2打1，1把2选1打2怎么办呢？
是的。 8颗子弹
Ecos in a grand old spot. Sold 9 IGL again to win a clutch. Has a recon now, so he can like buy his time. Similar to like the last clutch that he was in. Like hopping up's here good. You probably expect him to be in here. Gets cleared by Luke. TZH is sticking it. Gets half. Wins out the clutch, but you're going to be happy with that as an eco. Means that there's no bonus that can really come in for all gamers in round 3.
还是稳稳的把这分拿下来了。
Did Bane play an AG before? I recognized the name, but I don't know. Might have been from like the old team.
施压了，奖励分的奖励性质可能就没有那么明显了。
讲的不是很理解。这个位置很果断的出去抓到了 LB 的一个位置啊。
AG 的战术执行可能还是
I don't know why they didn't show more of that replay, to be fair. That's where it got good.
进到这个 B 区点内，然后我再聊一下，聊到OK 我们要反清，再去推。
Oh, it's the one that replaced RB in DRX.
不要清一下前点，哇，2个人直接飞过来了，吃了一个满的。
这提速夹击，
His stun was just missing TCH and peaks.
是小火龙的这一波题，我觉得是完全在第二季的意料之内的。
What's the bonus like here?
没有站在广告牌附
I
近。
mean, they got plenty of money at least, but
就
it's
等着你过来，我推你一个
you're not
马
really
达
expected to do too much with this kind of buy,
感觉对面
especially with Spitfires going out early.
夹击的情况，然后中路呢一直在做防。
I don't think having a lot of first deaths as a duelist is necessarily bad, but there's a lot of times that Spitfires dies and there's no chance to follow up on it, like to trade him. Like he just dies on his own and nothing can happen. You're aware that they could have been pushed here. And this is a really nice position for Del B to be in. Just in case the Breach wants to try and push in and put, like, jump on these guys behind. This is still just an awkward position to be in though. Like Vukashi still has that trip on site, you also got TCH just playing in market, and then a wraparound. So like the response here from DRG is nice.
基本上只有一个黑杖的时间，就将近15秒左右，你必须得把一边就推进去了，不然如果你卡在了
Because this is such a difficult place to clear. It's hard for AG to really go anywhere. But obviously, if you're like Vukashi here and you die, you've just opened up the site and you can't really hold any of it anymore.
必须后点，然后搭配上正面队友的枪线，想要打夹击。但是由于中路的点太多，而且 DRG 意识到了你要这么做，所以往往有意识和无意识是会有。
Oh, the paranoia was good.
看到 TCH 其实是在 A 点的小到这个位置啊，他直接就等着你来，然后再推暗眼了。
Really good fight for the last two as well for Vukashi.
这个回合第二季应该是比较漂亮的，存续了非常多的经济在。
4个人都没掉枪嘛 ，AG 这一边反而出现了混起的情况。
对，因为经济上面还是在于第2个回合他们。
The same like trip going across site, market, camera on both.
差点有机会啊。
是，给一点火力压制。 打个闪，再压一梭子。
Yeah, holding this close position where you don't get flashed is super strong.
单挑，但是防守方有架枪的优势在。那
If DRG 2-0, what time would EDG start? Pretty much like 20-25 minutes afterwards.
接下来会让 AG 有点难去处
Like it's a rolling schedule, but the turnaround for China games are typically very fast.
提速啊，他每一波的逐风都能很及时的撤离现场，因为我们知道逐风现在不像以前一样能直接逐出去了，它需要有个充能的。
是。 有一个这个预备的动作，那这样的话失去了自己的唯一决斗位。AG 现在想要去打一波提点的速度，其实是没有办法打的像不像中的那么快的，抓到了一个 timing， 哇哦，这样都跳下去了，好身法。
这个隔点烟有点骗到试勇期了，但好在
Good controller, you got the camera set up to sort of watch if anybody's going to repeat
考
this.
虑控球呢，现在 Monk 差一个点，但是 A 长球刚已经控。
But everybody from DRG is stacked up here. You've lost Spitfires early again.
中路其实两边都没有信息，
时间不
多 DRG 的
了。
这波赌 A 是完全赌到了。
是的
，30秒的时间，要看一下这波要怎么去打了，可能要等一下 Monk 这边的技能吗 ？Monk 手里其实有山盟之剑的打一个
Great flash.
骗倒了一个 ，Swanite 的补枪来的非常快。
I don't know why that wasn't expected more, really.
有人在藏，唐朝想来抓。
But I guess that's just all gamers doing a really good job of like building up pressure. Are you gonna watch JDG versus EDG? Yeah, we're watching all China. Might need to dip later though, depending on how long it goes on for.
这样的拖延效果没有想象中的那么好啊，拖了大概5-6秒的一个时间，我开始
should be okay.
推过来，但是他们的站位上优势还是比较大的。
但其实现在枪线展开呀，现在看守方家，唐朝打掉一个，残局还有悬念，安全包点内没有人能拆，没有人能架。
是的。 直接给一个
He's just sticking it.
掩护一下自己。
拆完了，要拆完了，没人看吗？
传在上面。
I like the TZH TP on the top of the box.
有一个黑杖在这里。
And then in the smoke to just sort of hold it all.
没有办法判断出 TZH 的位置，压力很大。
哇 ，TZH 的残局还是经验挺丰富的。
他
其实刚刚给到对手2个悬念，一个是要么假踢，就藏在烟里等你来抓我队友，我再来收人啊；要么就是你剑影进去了双架。
是的。 我觉得这2个回合可能会出现比较大的一个。
Yeah, that flash from Monk caught so many people off guard.
或者说跟小火龙有一点断联了。
A good turnaround yet again. Like a lot of rounds that I feel are like all gamers do well to put themselves in a good position, and then it just doesn't.
开局的技能其实教的还不错，他能够控制住某一些点位，但是每一分其实小火龙都会把自己置身于一个极为风。
I wish we had API stats though to see just how often Spitfires is dying first in this series because it feels like so much.
这一分混起分，放慢节奏。
But more specifically, dying when there's no like trade.
有信息。
小车没打掉就没打掉。
We're just trying to challenge start. It technically has. Like, there's no like tier 2 challenges this year.
太吓人了，两边。
It just sounds like they're like doing another kind of like weird evolution tournament. Like the format's cool, like because it incorporates like streaming tournaments for like Bilibili, Weibo, Huya, Douyu and Huya, sorry. And then like collegiate brand partnerships as well. It's very complicated, but yeah, like the challenges tournament is in like July, and then top 8 teams based on points make ascension. Dodges the flash. He is only 1 HP though, so he's trying to get something. Up against the Nico like that though, it's risky to just keep fighting it, but I don't think they realized how bad the buy was.
这边勾引到了，没问题，我觉得这波要贴到脸上了，想捡枪，位置也倒了。
这个残局真是给。
Only China Challengers team I know is XLG, where Crystal's in. I mean, you've got Rare Atom, and you got JJH as well.
可能因为枪械劣势比较明显吧，所以错失了这个机会。
哇，我觉得有这个。Look 这样的一个选手，整个队伍也会非常放心。即使他只有1滴血，他一是敢操作，再然后他拖住了非常关键的一个时间，让 TZH 在上面。
Is it JJH and OC? Now they're in both.
这样的一个感觉在了。
Yeah.
是的。那终极技能的运营上，现在看来 AG 也是进入到优势轮次了。晚焰火差1个点就能充能好。对，这一分是 AG 势在必得的一分，因为自己也来到关键分了。
AG 的终极技能是比较多的，他们其实是很需要这一分去能够去稳定一下自己的比分的。目前他们其实就是等于被第二季连追3分。
So full buys again. Hunter Sphere for Xion. Both sides have it. They're all theft.
硬掰前点位或者打提速了，而是开始摸牌，但是这个半线半到，没有倒还行。
Hunter's Fury kind of missing. There's Spitfires again. Like nobody's with Spitfires.
但是好像效果偏一般。
Like why is he pushing market on his own? And if the plan is to go for like a B split, where is everybody else?
在架后方。还是一个需要由 AG 去3打4的一个局面，是变速了，然后再想去提一波，但是还是那个问题，小火龙进来以后没有更多的队友或者没有更多的。
But this is getting like frustrating to watch.
试用期想要求稳吗？索奈又打了一个，他可能得考虑去抓人打了。
是，
索奈又断了一个。
他在中路很关键，断掉这2个，这样的话
got the timing to actually walk out.
试用期他能不能？成大事，他这一波有背身
来了，我直接
Just unreal timing from Xion. He knows that there's one on site too.
2打2
，AG 还有操作空间，他们现
在 actually no, would he?
10个人在地图上都是分别的。
No, I had no idea.
帮他稳住了。
Weird ass round from both teams here.
安包其实需要队友帮忙架一下，万一我卡数已经摸进了呢？
是。
接引进来，求稳，一切都求稳，这一分必须得拿，因为是关键分，丢了下分就要 E 了。
跳起来看到了，给个球龙侧边，哇，这个回合
saved by Sword9.
绝了，很关键的3个。
How many rounds it feels like all gamers have had to play in like a 4 versus 5 and still managed to turn it around? Like that stuff is good. But here, yeah, it's very confusing as to what the plan was meant to be initially for all gamers. Read it so well that he was going to get peeked from another player. Because I think if Spitfire's plan is to just break this trip, well, he managed to do that. But then, like, is this a timeout for all gamers? Yeah, it is. Maybe it's wrong, maybe it is for DRG, but like I think all gamers called it this timeout I'm a fan of. Because I feel like it was when Spitfires died that they maybe like called the timeout for the next round and then somehow still managed to win it. Yeah, I think this is good because like for that last round at least, like all gamers like shouldn't have really won it, I don't think. They just got very good timing and lucky with some of the fights, and especially like Sword9 fighting 2 mid. I'm gonna go finish a cup of tea though real quick, so one sec.
那可能就跟自己一开始战前的部署有比较大的一个出入了。这个我觉得对于 AG 来说可能是不太能够去接受的。
对，但其实如果要去跟 DRG 这样磕枪，波都磕赢的难度也非常的高啊。
对。
所以此时我觉得 AG 可能要去考虑一下自己的战术该怎么编排，同时去修补一下之前的漏洞吧。其实之前会经常给到对面，比如架侧点枪收咕噜费的机会，那这些可能是对于对手位置的预判有一些没有那么充足。
是， 目前的前面几个回合可能都看到的是小火龙没有办法跟队友有更多的一个联动，这个问题是 AG 急需去解决的一个问题。这个回合还有一个好的这个地方在于啊，终极技能还是 AG 蛮多的。
哎，贴脸了，
直接来了，
巨人驾驭。哎，我 Look 这么冲，但是右肩没掉掉，
摘了一丝丝血，两边其实都是黑着来的，
是
两个觉得我应该是都看不太清楚对手。
这个骑射应该打脚了，不然的话其实很有可能把这个玩意儿给撕掉的。但第二时间近点怎么说呢？有技能吗？Nick 好像没有山崩地陷了。
They tried fighting for B main and just
没有
lost.
抓住机会 ，Nick 反而出手了，打了一个有经验卷地，还在保活，他没。
Like the change of pace though for all gamers. This is up against like a full buy too.
这个回合小火龙在近点的时候就成。
I wonder if this was a good read too, because like the timeout that they had, the call from DRG was to put all of their Cypher stuff from B onto A, and all gamers, that's the time that they just go fast B.
给一个血力剑，脸上也被凶器解决了，手里还是有。
Oh no! I thought all gamers were gonna lose that. Then, what even advantage were they in?
进到侧边枪线以后，队友的补枪来的火龙在。
Were they in a 5 versus 2? 4 versus 2. They almost lost a 4 versus 2.
这个回合，至少在联动上面，其实前点的一个道具交互上会有一点压力在啊，两边都是有点都是这个。
The showstopper just comes out.
有点看不清，又是被震又是被黑的，但是因为是近视的效果，有一点点的视野残留。那我这个玩焰火确实是比巨人更直白一点。
Yeah, Spitfire's again like in a very forward position with no like help.
做了一波前顶，那不知道后面会不会继续这么做？
这分也是由 AG。
I don't even think Spitfires is much of a problem here because I feel like he's at least doing stuff consistently. He's just not really got that backing.
试用期没有经济。
Like maybe that's him not being aware that he doesn't have somebody like helping him or being in a position to trade off of him.
回到中另一侧的黑照。
来了，离魂落地，这是守方家里直接搭了一个经济翻腾去打夹击，有点意思啊。那架烟接了一个试用期有补枪，但还有再补枪的情况。那现在就夹壁了，
贴到脸上了。Look 手里有竹锋，他自己得想办法了。贴到脸上，这么在打的提前枪，非常的有经验。
那反而经验卷地不好出手了，哎，蹦蹦跳跳过来补枪。
At least it gets dealt with from over here.
最稳的一个办法，但是
and TCH just found them one at a time.
两个了，接下来是一个1v1 TCH 接身体。
Good fight from Spitfires. I swear every round that all gamers win, it comes down to a 1 versus 1. There's just crazy like moments that maybe shouldn't be clutches ended up being clutches.
接架都有闪光点，都有发挥的时候，但永远就是差那么一点点去拿下别人。
Wonder if DRG are going to call a timeout soon. Sorry.
回合因为有枪线的一个优势啊，剑九的这个已经知道锁定对手位置去打的是提前枪，也没有任何问题啊。
是的。 可以看到 AG 现在表现也轻松了很多，因为自己其实是处于悬崖边缘。
Not fan of the jet pick. Nah, me neither. I'd prefer the neon that they had beforehand.
第二季也是
Right, one sec.
有些调整。
反手拍一个暂停出来啊！现在面对第二季面对上 AG 的这样的一个拉扯，或者说拉扯后的一波，稍微是还是有点接不住，而且整个队伍感觉有点拆散掉了。就是我先锋的技能有点没有办法给到对手正面第一波给压力。
第二季很想通过非常规去找到一些机会，然后包括刚才他这个截锋的巨刃前顶就是一个很好的例子。他想要打你一个措手不及，但是 AG 好像做到了一定的预设，他好像猜到了你会怎么做，并且临场的应变是不错的。
对的。
那其实刚才上一分的第二季其实也面对了对手的非常规，这个中路夹壁蓄谋已久，并且惊雷卷地不好出手，你不知道该卷壁长还是卷守方家，这两个方向你卷了，另一边可能都会过来补你。
3-5 DRG calling a timeout.
想要把战场分割。 想要把第二季这里的
Yeah, I mean, it has to be like preference, like not really vibing with. But like, I'm pretty sure Luke plays Raze. Like, it's not an issue with the agent.
我觉得几次切割都做得非常的好。
有可能暂停结束，第二季是选择了强。
Honestly, I prefer like no duelist over Jet. If you wanna like do some a bit crazier, like Paper X with the Sage.
自己手里有竹锋嘛，有这种可以去打免费枪的机会。
Luke 永远相信自己能够创造出击杀，但此时Spitfires 其实
I like Spitfires this position.
非常经典的一个，之前雕币也喜欢在屏幕降下前提前踩到这个高点去骗人。
Stunned to go across, Raze just drops down.
了这个山崩地陷啊，自己提前来到比较安全的一个位置，但是竹锋自己也是交了出来啊。
The idea have done well to like try to bait these players out though.
可能生存的压力会非常的大。
目前是找到
As soon as that smoke, that's when Luke goes.
卷地这一波轰出来，他们顶不住。
holding the other side, sees nothing. Great information. You got the breach now looking over towards mid. At some point, you got to see Xion, like, potentially. He's already used the drone. Actually, so he's staying, and then the breach is going to rotate around to help here. Should have the stun coming up soon. Zeta 1, nice. I mean, that's a good result for them. Probably should have won too. I didn't do my predictions for Pacific in the first week. But I think I would have gone Zeta. A line. This is gonna miss. Unless Fury's used, now the Rolling Thunder's gonna come in. Plan's been stopped and delayed. They still think that they're on the site. Really good hold from DRG. Like, Rotate were in a good fight. Like, I think the way that they got Luke over to this position was just holding. The way that they moved the breach over, then moved it back. How things, Mr. Ryan? They're good line. Hope you're good too. Yeah, Vu just pushing out and getting these two is, and like Nick being just like on his back as well. Like spacing is a lot better for DRG. I think this kickoff, this stage instead of kickoff. So now you've got the trip up on like CT, up against an eco. Managed to break the trip up here. Did JDG make roster moves? Yeah. We can talk about it when we get there, but yeah, they have a new RGL. Yeah, Vukashi's now in like farming territory.
这一波想要去提 B， 但是问题是没有任何人控市场，那你只能占据到 B。
I'm a little bit concerned because this was a side that all gamers chose to like choose the side on, so they chose to attack.
是枪烈的情况嘛，所以只能去想办法硬拼一下点内交火了。
看一下这一个暗眼加上山崩地线啊，吃满了。
对 ，DRG 的这个技能组合感觉还挺有强度的啊，几乎每一个都能限制到对手的发挥。
Vukashi on the international stage. Oh, it'd be so nice if he was able to make it, but I only want to see DRG attend an event if they can like look the part.
非常的高，这个回合让小火龙两段进翻腾提到了 A 侧，
是
Elbow 这个位置进来了，但是这一
Was this just broken by a nade? Like both trips just been destroyed by one bit of utility is slightly rough. Might have even just been a shock.
这个弯道的位置没有任何人看防。
对的。
And there's Fury on defense. Actually managed to dodge it. Nicely done from Monk. He has a Rolling Thunder too, but he's looking like he's going to use it towards Link. Does actually hit all of them. Like, it's a really good ult because it hits both sides. Alright, nice from Del B. Again, really good like response from all gamers. The DRG got a little bit unlucky about that Hunter's Fury being duped, but it was just very well played from Monk. Like him to not get killed by the ultimate, and also just a really good Rolling Thunder himself.
小步伐啊，小步伐
相当的有味道。
是的，4打5成功了。那现在比分优势又来到了 AG 这一边，可以看到他们其实韧性还挺强。
And pretty much since the timeout, I think Spitfires has been a lot more with the team than he was previously.
这其实也证明了索奈其实往往在这个体系内承担着一个很重要的职责。
这个回合投资了比较多的终极技能，但是还是比较顺利的拿下这一分。两边的经济情况
No trip up here this time. Still got like the focus on like A main. It's such an important pick as well for TCH.
那怎么办呢？接下来先倒了一个单烟啊。
Still good information for Vukashi to work with because you have the camera in B main that's not been broken. Luke having to push, which I don't hate too much because you have some support coming in from Nick. And you're a player down, so you need to like kind of push out and find something.
开接打一个
Good movement from Luke. Really important trade from Monk actually too.
Delby 在中路被我卡叔打掉了。第二时间 A 区其实防守。
So what do you have? You have like flashes and stuns, but you're now starting to like separate from each other. Neuro theft is going to be used on the killing mid.
调看旺哥这里还是收集到了 Nick 的一个信息啊。
So this is good from DRG to just show presence.
还有能够去
Vukashi now just backing out of mid. Knows that he was sort of leaving himself open a little bit to try and get the ultimate off. The buy for Xion isn't good enough to sort of win those duels.
匍匐前进，
开抓了，那个抓住一个
Stun and Recon both miss Nick.
往里送吗？
回旋跳这个巡敌剑稍微有点拖大了，自己手里是有
They're planning for safe.
怎么说？给一手，
Just like as Vukashi peeks out.
出来了，但是还是被
All right, nice round from DRG. It's a sort of like a couple of these rounds haven't been
收掉了。
对的，
amazing to watch. That one was a little bit to and fro.
两边都能接受。
好接近，又是好接近的一个比分。因为其实两边的阵容在打法上
But like last round and a half, right? So players switch off a little
基
bit.
本盘都是一样的，只有觉得位置上面是不一样的。
可能 AG 的转点战术和费人会稍微多一点吧。
对。
DRG 这张地图可能更
Don't know who's going to win this one really.
或者变速啊，对，
直拳
一拳超人，我就打这一拳了，打赢了我就赢，打不赢我就输，就这么简单。但是 AG 可能会更丰富一点。那来到下半场的话
，AG look good so far. Sorry, I was watching Pacific. Are you asking if they look good so far, or are you?
就是凭借正面无可匹敌的枪法发挥和队员。
Because you said that you were watching Pacific, so I don't know if you were just asking like, hey, do they look good?
两边在攻防上要进行一波互换了。
好。 又到了我最喜欢的。
It's perfectly valid to be watching Pacific too.
这个模仿难度不高啊。
Yeah, I think that there's still a long way to go for them, but I don't think that they are like the worst team in the region levels. Like a lot of the series that they play against tough opponents are good series. They're just like missing something. It could be something just really small too. Why would you like to see Vukashi next season? Don't you think he's outgrown his team? I don't know about like outgrowing, because I think that he was always like sort of better than his team mostly were, as bad as it sounds. But I don't know if anywhere else would like realistically pick him up, I suppose. But that's the part I don't really know where to gauge it for either of them.
但这一次好像大伙都在发挥，但是看九哥的这个表情，好像交流的还是比较话口比较密的，
还是有比较多的东西要嘱咐给自己的队友。
那反观 DRG 这边感觉表情
，Lu feels way too inconsistent as a duelist. Yeah, it's just as soon as you start to like lose faith in him, that's when he starts to like perform well.
来了，下半场两边攻防互换，由 DRG 担任进攻方，由 AG 担任防守方。看一下两边的起枪啊，目前没有出现发一把枪的情况。那落位上的 A 区是3人重防 ，AG 在 D 方。
Like it's very tricky, I suppose, to get that balance right.
可能更加偏向于 B 区一些。
是。 两边在这个，我们也可以看到，在 KD 的反应上面，我开始这张地图也是因为一开始是防守方，一样会有非常多可以架点的地方，让自己的。
But I think for both, like it's an interesting head-to-head of duelists, because I think both Spitfires and Luke could just
打法比较接近啊，烙的也是在这张图让 Sedag 的猎枪
suffer from the same sort of stuff. Despite it's only really started to see Spitfires like now.
然后再去考虑去打这样的一波，看一下这一波将要怎么去。
I don't know where you'd realistically what their ceilings are. And how you get the most out of them. But 6-6, all gamers defense. They're just hoping to walk out, no trip, but the camera's spotting everything, so they're pinged. Luke just didn't care. They know that they're all backside. You still need to plant, and Nick's also lost the spike and headshot. This is going to be another one of those rounds where it's like, okay, AG, you've got it, and no.
旺哥手里是一把狂怒在的 Spitfire 手里也是有鬼魅的，血量上他们的优势是蛮大的。
Potential there though, because Vukashi's only 14 HP.
第二季来说，他们有点不知道 AG 剩下2个人的具体站位，
而且我卡数血量太低了，一碰就碎。现在其实要看 AG 残局的同步了。
Trying to pick it together. It was a good call.
往 B 场走呢，现在被
And they just push it one at a time. There's Monk going before Spitfires too.
要去滴一下爆能器，滴完了 ，Spitfire 在做直架回旋跳，被摘了一颗，点了一下，
看心脏大不大了，开敲开敲，
Didn't get half.
但是还好没有拆到一半。
Yeah, TCH is playing this really well.
要不再来，
拖，
假滴，再拖，
再来。
He's played it incredibly well.
很烦，
这侧身，
Oh man. weird ass round.
确实也给到了小火龙一点错觉，就是。 是不是他就是打不到我
I feel like that's all gamers again having like a pretty big advantage, even though it was for like a short second.
没问题啊，最后还是稳稳的把这分给
I think it was a 5 versus 3, yeah.
和自己的一个大心脏，稳稳的把这个残局啊，能够掌握在自己手中。
是的，
5v3 it instantly becomes a 2 versus 2.
2打1，但是 TZS 通过自己的身位控制拆分了这一个2打1，这是最为关键的点。
是。
They've all got the artisan orange mouse mats. I need to get myself one of those. They're really nice.
行，
有博弈的啊！来看一下起枪的情况啊，我开鼠的狂徒。
是的，
哇，这投资蛮大的。
包括我卡鼠和唐哲浩两人是目前击杀
Shook to break the trip.
一个17，一个16，可以说是傲视群雄。
Seems they'll be sort of doing the same full classic eco.
战术监控，
战术监控啊，然后最后找了半天。 肖恩奇这你别闹了，我雷击给他电了。
The L game is just now trying to gamble on a site, open it because the RG showed themselves on B that they would just rotate and go A.
尴尬的一个问题，接下来 B 区如果进点的话，但是哎。 包往外送了
Seems that they might be spot on with it.
这两边都有点没有收集到信息啊，只知道有一个摄像头是在 B 点的位置。
They are starting to really like split up here though.
有点小慌
against an eco, which is always risky.
中之后，这个无人机如果往市场开，其实
clear mid is good.
但是好像没有
because now the Silver's going to be pulled towards B. There's going to be smoke in market.
犹豫不决，
是
DRG potentially falling right into the trap of all gamers.
前面更多的一个信息在啊，索奈如果在这个地方造点动静，将是绝杀，直接给。
It was nice that Luke was just able to put like check on his own. It's like there's nothing here. Nobody's peeked. Nobody's done anything.
进点毫无压力啊，过点也没有。
Literally just spamming Marshall
按
shots.
完包之后，这个残局就很难有 AG 的翻盘空间了。
烟散了，跳回去了。那按照爆
They do get him in the end though.
是一个。 又是上一回一样的一个爆能器。
Lot less scary of an eco with only a single breach flash. That's true. I mean, it is a monk breach flash.
打个闪，硬来，飞将点名，希望器也能够把人给收掉。而且我们可以看到另一侧有黑杖，剩下的人有点不好进来。
是的，这门架枪非常之稳。
Yeah, just push out now.
并且后续哇，这个飞将
开冲。
Luke was just very keen to have like a no-scope shot kill, wasn't he?
直播时的飞将的这个练枪，他是直接在
the amount that they were spamming.
飞将跟别人狂屠对的。
对的。
确实也是 AG 的一个巧妇难为无米之炊的情况嘛，他们的堵点感觉差一点就要堵掉。
Yeah, honestly, really nice stuff.
在红砖路想了一想又回去了，那具体发生啥，可能我们确实是很难知晓的。
但这一分你结果上，我们看到中途有博弈，但结果真的挺让 AG 有点难接受，是送了。
Let's see how this goes now for DRG. If they can, like, they've got a really good bonus here to work with.
完全可以跟你的全长枪去拼一拼的。
是的。
Feel like if they win this next round, that could just be curtains.
这支队伍最大的两个火力点，现在对于中路的渗透做的是不错的。DRG 的进攻在前期是没有录任何动静，控中控的很自然。
帮队友去骗 Bont 这个地方
想变半线
优势的。
进来了，侧身。
这个地方想应付就是很难，因为
was just so keen to look for like trips and cameras.
很大情况下，第二
He didn't really just expect that player would just be sat there waiting.
刚刚那个雷击剑的意图有点太明显了，就是你这半线一电，你不就想来摸吗？
搞有点刻意了
啊，对。那后续 B 区
Pinged it, so I don't know if they've seen Xion. He hasn't used the drone.
挂在了 A 点。
这个回合 Luke 也是没有办法在市场的位置摸到。
Our drone used towards A.
去打了，给到了 A 点一颗烟，有骗得到吗？问题是
好像没有，现在是按
really good like
AG 对于这种
bit of fake info for DRG.
是 A 前点 AG。
But you are going into the site of the Cypher, which is unfortunate. The late lurk of Xion is caught in market too.
这个是枪械劣势的一个伏笔，命中到头部没有能够导致一枪致死，直接打了个闪，人要硬。
All gamers have like done well to get in the right place, but this hasn't really necessarily helped all that much. Good read from Nick to expect somebody to maybe come through and mark it. Fully flashed this time. I think Vukashi was as well because of the assist. Well, I mean Nick's 1v5, so what's a 1v3? Unfortunately impossible. I don't know why I said it.
想动啊！
是。 这一分 AG 是能接受的，只掉了2把枪，并且 Bont 是直接拿了3杀养了手感。
For them to do well, I need to like jinx it into existence more than try to predict it.
两边对于这个市场位置啊，其实都知道这是一个。
Yeah, I think for all gamers, really nice anti-bonus. You only lose 1, 2 players.
去站位的这样的一个人都是有压力在的，都是有博弈在的。
包括中路慢摸贴近点没有搭配上信息技能去进市场，这也是一个小小的问题吧。
对。
但是 有问题，我们去修补它。
Takashi 18 and 10. Nobody's really close. It feels like for all gamers, like much more of like a team performance. Shugged out to break a trip in market. Good instant smoke from Bunt. He was a guardian. Some money still a little bit awkward. Guess he's just like, I'm happy to have the guardian. Everybody else can like full buy.
包括山崩地线刚刚也交了，这意味着后面可能大概20到30秒的时间。
Got the god drone, getting all of this information that there's people in mid. So rotation is instantly going to come in towards A.
看到了转中的一个动静 ，AG 目前来说是完完全全把握到 DRG 的一个进攻动向。
Even a nade, yeah, like because it not only stalls, but it would break a trip if it was there. Vukashu literally had the trip in hand, waits for the nade, puts the trip back down. Like he just read that really well.
对，他只有一个相对较短但是更快的位移。是，其实我会觉得他们想要搭。
It is DRG pushing into the site with the Cypher utility, and also like there's still 2 players here.
近的爆发，听到脚步了。 半线被电掉了，这波没有伏笔。卢盖进来想要去找一下这个摄像头的位置。
Don't know where the camera is. They're trying to break it.
在这个窗户上面，
点后信息几乎被拿完了，打闪要来抓，但是反震的震不错。这个山崩内线是现阵。
As a neural theft 2 now.
雷剑效果并不是很好，直接拉出来。
Doesn't even need the camera or like the extra bits of utility. But there's like a corpse to use the neural theft on, allows everybody else to sort of peek up. 2 versus 4.
可让他只能完成一个1换1。
4打2了，并且位置名牌，这波很难凑。
Okay, nice shot from Xion. Really nice shots from Xion. Oh, they're just doing it again every time.
狂烈之路，这个残局棒他没。
I swear, every time all gamers have a round where it's like they have such a huge advantage.
有个狂烈之怒，先把狂烈之怒的一个位置给骗出来。
他不敢贴烟的。
耶，打掉。
哎，直接取消吗？ 烟快散了，能不能接住？2打1可以双拉一下，
没时间了，主要是2个人一起拉。
Really nice double peek there in the end too. Like how are DRG able to win these rounds?
个人能力爆发，拿下了这一分。
他居然真的
Type of B holds give me massive burl flashbacks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the position of like B main is just too strong. But I don't. It was well played from Xion, but at the same time, like one at a time, one here, late peek there. It's like Xion is able to predict them, and then like Delby's like holding the angle.
很难受，这个悲喜并不相同，确实是本身有非常大的一个优势已经在手上的情况下，但是又被对手这种完全不讲道理。
Like it's gotta be so frustrating if you're the coaches.
缺少了一点团队配合，更多的时候是挨个拉出，
也确实变成一个个拉了。
对，加上石勇基的身位控制确
Yeah, one at a time peeks to kill me. It's
对，打一枪。
It's literally just coming down to that. Like some massive rounds that are just going in the direction of DRG.
他们现在急需一个稳定拿分的状态。
Don't get me wrong, the 1 versus 5 ace was exceptional, but I feel like for everything else it's just a little bit like, man. It shouldn't be feeling like this. Like dominant, I suppose.
这个回合其实是有点像目前打到现在来说两支队伍的一个缩影。AG 每个回合都能够计算到，或者说很多情况下能够计算到。 DRG 到底想要打哪里，想要去怎么打？但是 DRG 就是有时候能够用不讲道理的个人能力去化解掉。
It's always exceptionally tricky.
是的 ，AG 进入到了混起的局势啊，感觉跟我们的预料有些区别。他们
all gamers used their second and final time out there on an eco.
但作为首方，这波 B 区是交了很多的技能来控的，想要强行踩
Stun push.
力交火。
哦，还好有珠峰，能够第二时间再来。
I guess the smoke and jet is nice to give you something to play around when there are these like aggressive moments. Like either smoking off a recon or smoking you away from a flash.
举着自己铁臂，举着自己的铁臂，然后跳回来这个地方确实。
Still like good damage done. You've got Luke.
但是效果一般，枪械劣势，巧妇难为无米之炊的情况发生了。Delby 点内开接，但是被无人机。
I think they know that Delby's there, but they just didn't get the ping on him.
还有一根半线在缩内，真的无从发挥了。
Yeah, Sod9 last alive.
这一分其实设计还是不错的，通过山崩地线以及暗眼，直接把 B 场完全清空。没什么机会。
其实很细，因为他换枪怕这个有声音弹出来嘛，想要去操作一下，但是这个timing 啊
，timing 有点差。
是。
那现在比分其实是在被逐步扩大的，但毕竟上一分是一个混起分，所以我觉得也能接受。
想要去打一个非常规嘛，但是这波的战术我觉得多少还是让 ，DRG 其实是有所预判到了，他们第一波没有非常的贸然的冲到 B 通里面，而是直接退到后面用自己的长枪优势。
Both the duelists just doing sod all. It feels like in this map.
现在终极技能上两边都是各有一些，但是 Spitfire 的晚焰火能否有收益，其实是目前是个未知数，因为首方雷兹的晚焰火往往需要技能的辅助，队友技能的辅助。
看一下这发晚焰火能不能收集到更多的东西。对于 DRG 来说，他们也一定知道小火龙手里的这个晚焰火可能会成为一个大杀器。
对，打 A 现在这种站位是容易被一炸多的。
是的。
I'm curious, I suppose, on like what DRG is waiting for. Like they're just waiting for like full contact somebody to walk up.
哎，这晚焰火是接人的
I guess just any inclination that there was going to be an aggressive play there. I don't know if I like this too much, where you have the breach lurking.
接住了 Luke 这样的一个位置啊。
是的，随着 Luke 的倒地，矛头人物也是。
Gonna break the trip, try and go like top mid. Sword9 is just gonna peek it. Doesn't really peek it that well as well because his elbow sticks out before he actually goes.
DRG 的这个选择啊，都是刀尖舔血的一个选择。但是又拉扯到了。
现在有一点点的一筹莫展，主要是因为点内信息完全拿不到。
I think DRG has been good at doing this though. Just putting pressure in various places. It does always seem to end in a B execute, but there's no like Cypher utility here to worry about as much. Paranoid does connect onto Nick, but it shouldn't stop everybody else. Yeah, Rolling Thunder going in. Recon from Sword9. He's playing market, gets like a full ping. Really good trade from Spitfires, expected somebody to like push out of the smoke and be aggressive. Gets a kill, there'll be trades.
安在一个非常理想的位置啊，这个位置又是一个你必须，你如果在这儿强行拆除爆能器是很容易被混倒的位置。
市场的信息没。
I mean, you gotta deal with this though. You don't have any smokes either.
但是身位很劣势。
Yeah, DRG taking some of the Heretics game plan.
但是对手可以混，也可以混这个烟啊。
李现人要出来了，DLB 已经收到一个了。
Maybe not as like well executed as some of the Heretics would do. Sort of felt like one of those things of like they do the smoke, they know how to do that, but then weren't really sure how they should like position and play like if they get pushed. Alright, all game is showing signs of life.
这波小火龙的操作也是，没有问题啊，证明了自己其实雷兹的这个熟练度，即使被震了以后，先飞起来再接住。那这样的话，其实是投。
Silver Drone not showing the duration observer mode annoys me for an unreasonable amount. Yeah, there's like a lot of things like that. Even like when you have people like defusing the spike, and the UI sometimes just drops off.
中路要提速，这大脚步啊，而且把中路半线给电了，直接冲过来想要找人。
Rolling Thunder going to be used to actually go across here, so this is really nice from Luke that he's just baited all of this like focus and attention. Doesn't get one, and Nick also goes down from where? Just in like short, and gets the trade here, right? I think you can play time a little bit more there.
这火力
排山倒海，就是形容这种场面。
Like yeah, you have to make a play. You're a player down, but
错过了
2打4压力很大哦。
not just willy-nilly. And he completely runs off because of the aftershock and still dies to it anyway.
拉扯了半天的位置，但是一是有枪线的覆盖，二然后也有这个技能的覆盖。
那现在主要呈现的还是一个追分的态势。
I don't really feel legit on this map. Nah, neither do I.
这分的这个战术啊，给 Luke 送到
But comfort is important.
任何队友能够看得到他的地方。
确实，而且那个时候如果队友来帮他的话，其实很有可能会被正面两人给架住。
对。
Like I don't think that you. I don't think there's any need to change it. That's the thing.
也还是在消耗 AG 的这样的一个终极技能，但是比分 AG 也迫近到了9分了，两边的大比分上面是。
So I don't think your raise needs to be like amazing on this map. It's just about the general bits of like util.
就都是下半场 AG 先叫一个，但你要拿到。
Unless like Luke isn't comfortable with his satcheling. But I'm pretty sure that like he does play raise on some other maps. He abandoned split. So it's not a problem with anything like that.
他们来说是件好事情。
是目前来说，其实 DRG 的暂停转化比分的一个成功率
It's just a little bit like confusing, I suppose.
暂停他们能不能去改变掉目前 DRG 有一点进攻没有办法给到 AG 比较大困难的这样的一个情况了。
是的，现场的应援板上也看到了 DRG 粉丝写的啊，4强不是终点，而是奇迹的开始。我觉得这句话挺振奋人心的。 ，AG 这一边也需要更多的加油声。我觉得其实对于他们来说，现在可能还在面临着一个获取首胜的情况，所以他们更加的会吃到压力一些。但是目前看来，暂停结束之后，经济劣势的是 DRG。
对的，这个回合。
Want to see more Euro masterclass from who in particular?
英雄的幻影。 在 Luke 身上，那我们可以看到
a lot of good Euro players nowadays。
而且 AG 的现在这个经济是给到他们还有容错在的。
守方明居在 B 区正面打阵，开不了镜 ，Spitfire 被贴脸，直接跑这一波，吊臂保护住了。
Good morning from Spain. Spitfires keeps being well up.
还是没有能够成功的进到点里。
I
mean, he's been like pretty. His first series that he's played like for this team as a duelist, and it's not been a great one. Gets a kill and a ping. Like both players are like half HP. Are there any notable Euro players in China? Plix, Agile Wolves plays a lot of it. Life too.
这个侧点收掉了我卡鼠，那这一分其实到现在已经没有太多的伏笔了。
对的，没有太多的悬念了。
Alright, I'll give him his might pull this map back.
现在摆在TJH 面前的有2条路啊，一个是给烟踢进去，另一个是摸。他正面想要给常规烟去走过去是不太可能的，但是捡枪被抓住了，那就没办法了。
这样半个球星还是会有一点点的这个视野暴露在外面啊。
是的，
两侧都有看到他大概的一个位置。比分来到了10比10，这个回合也其实是一个非常规的一个经济，想要去往前压啊，踩到。
Trip Battle does a lot too.
刚刚 DRG 的暂停叫出来，我相信可能更多的时候是针对接下来。
He gets 1 kill and 2 tags, I think, with it too.
这个混起分呢，就尽可能去拿不到也无所
I'm
谓。
a fake Wolves fan then. You might be. Hub AG21 really likable team. Yeah, I respect the roster that they've put together.
局还是在逼。
对，
同样的剧情难道会再度发生吗？
前点应该还是会给技能的吧。来了，交了，看到了小火龙的位置。
But part of me is just like I kind of want.
不想走啊，顶着雷击剑来找架住了。
掉在这个位置。
Spitfire's peeking with the operator.
而且神经取息是能够成功的给出来的， B 点内要往里去飞了。
That's the only thing that like I think is worthwhile for Jet on attack is just being able to get past trips consistently. Might not matter though. Seems that DRG is sort of making the same mistakes. Nice double peek though, fighting that together, really good. Like that's the thing that I think has been winning out stuff more for DRG. Guys, hello. Production. Thank you, Jesus. Fucking EMEA impression.
但 Nick 的血量有点少啊，如果真的对混，是有可能 Nick 不小心自己把自己混，这个被对手混倒的。
You don't have any other like util. You might have a stun soon.
车库的这个清点
Like a smoke and 6.
有没有可能反绕呢？还是先清点？
Still clearing this.
你现在不知道人在哪。
You know where they're gonna be. It's where they always play. You've also just smoked them off. Oh my god.
成了这个残局，很极限，很极
限。Yeah. Weird round.
哇，那这样11比10，而且第二季的经济已经是不是很好的一个情况了。
Bont 的残局还是挺稳的，这一波其实他跟队友有一点点重生。
That's DRG finding the first kill too.
虽然说 DRG 开
like Luke goes on his own.
并且知道了落位，
This double peek is nice.
还是 AG 更胜一筹。
对，其实就是。
And Xion just stays.
就这一下。
对，磕掉了。是的，后面就机会不大了。
没问题，稳住了这个相当关键。
It almost feels like they're so. They tried doing the Team Heretic smoke once, it didn't work, so they're scared of doing it again, like this one.
反超，在当前白热化的战局之下
，Like why would you smoke them off? It's good smoke if you have some like pressure coming in from this way, but you've kind of made your presence known that you're both in B main.
这个位置很经典。
是的，有一个矩阵一波给出来，点内的队友被扫到了。
我卡鼠空摘了，
两边的
有补枪，
决斗位置都倒了。赛博囚笼里面，Monk想要做英雄，想要找一下人。
Oh my god, they just lined up perfectly for him.
他敢这么抓
Lukashi 1v4, can't do it. Nice round from Monk.
铁臂也在发挥 ，AG 的所有人都在发挥。
感觉来了呀 ！AG 这一波前点的。 非常强硬的接架，成功的架住了这边想要去提速的 DRG 啊，
好像离自己在起点赛以来第一张地图的胜利不远了。目前有
crazy shots. At some point, I'm gonna need to
哇，小火龙空中被摘下来，确实也有点小惨。
jump in and do. I'll do it like between series or like for the next map.
而且还是我们刚刚有说到一个问题，是你这张地图选择到截锋，就是你一波进不去。我们看到他一波 逐风加凌空也只能来到这个箱子上的位置，他没有办法能够像雷兹一样能飞到一半 elbow 的位置。
是的，包括夹击其实也没有想象中那么好做，但是杰锋胜在一手，他能给过点烟。对。
He broke one of them. He might walk into the next. No, he's broke it. Oh, and he's just dashing right into the smoke. Bun just predicts it. A really nice read. Look how much all gamers, just everybody's here. Rolling Thunder's going to be used to try and push up. Hit Xion still, but it's not going to matter too much. But Xion pushing again on their own. Just body shots galore. Showstopper right in his corner. Spike still hasn't been planted, but you're in a 1 versus 2. Nice double peek. Like having TCH like TP to this side and then doing it this way. Really nicely done, but like Christ, these rounds have just descended into like silliness. It's the closest though for all gamers to pick up a map in VCT China thus far. Just whether it's going to be a 13-11 for them or whether it's going to be OT.
非常热血啊！这边是想要给到一个暗眼，然后让路去拉枪的，但是问题还是。 暗眼它是一个近视，你两个人都贴到烟里的话
，like it's definitely a slog this one。
看到 Luke 这边的一个位置的。
AG 终结比赛的常规时段，在常规时段终结比赛最后一次机会了。
What's the plan now?
11的比分，手握盘
Attack up.
两人都有名局。
对，两边的。
Are they just hoping to diff out Spitfires? Because what, he hasn't got anything with the operator thus far.
这不能干拉呀。
Scrappy from both sides. Yeah, I mean, for me, both these teams, I don't... Xion! If I keep seeing this man just peeking on his own...
他现在给队伍争取到非常大优势了。
孟克上分的3杀也是帮他充当好了惊雷卷地，这个残局他还有一手底牌可以去使用。
是。
What's the plan now, though? Like, are you just going to try and brute force your way in? There's 3 players here and all of the Cypher utility. You've made no, like, presence known towards A or mid. Rolling Thunder's going to delay you further. Not sure if I like that ultimate too much, though, from Monk.
对于第二季，他们好像也不太想要去转了。
但这波不转的话，压力还是很大哦。第二时间进点怎么进啊？已经没有。
Everybody's just cut noise. It's only just, like, Cypher being like, hey, guys, I'm over here. Like, he's showing, so, like, he can break the trip, he breaks the camera. They don't know if it's 1 player or, like, 3. This is actually really nicely played from DRG. But now they've seen TZH, now they've seen everybody else. Fukashu's 45 HP. Hit by his on Team Paranoia. AG pick up the first map in VCT China. Close map again. But now going to Breeze, we've never seen all gamers play it. DRG played it against FPX. And like, I don't think all gamers will care how they got it over the line. Like, they got it over the line. I think DRG, like, the jet didn't seem to look good. Like, this is just the 2 maps of, like, disappointing duelists, I suppose. But this just... I just think, like, if you're a duelist or, like, like, you don't have any utility, but you're, like, the Sova, they need you to go in on site. Like, if you are going to try and repeat the operator, do it with somebody else. Like, letting the op get 2 and then get out is... Yeah, you can't be getting away with that. But, nevertheless, really good for all gamers.
小火龙的民居其实有点处处受限，因为开局就包括当时那一个贴脸的情况也发生过，他很担心对面的突然提速，但是不能怕。 也是可以跟随着高光镜头一起回顾一下本场精彩的比赛。
So what were the teams? DRG versus AG, map 2 Sunset.
偶有的某个轮次里会有一波突然的爆发，但如果想让它稳定的去 C， 对于一个指挥来说是比较困难的。 其实今天还要再夸一个点，其实就是雕 B 啊，雕 B 其实队内很稳定的一环，他拿了非常多的击杀，包括在就是整体的。
This game's been good actually. It's getting me so hyped for the next one. You think DRG is going to fall behind as the region improves? I don't know about like falling behind. I think for me, it's just my expectations of DRG just aren't really that high. Like, think of it like G2 in Americas. That's kind of how I see DRG. It's like another Ascension team that's like pretty good. But has it got enough about them to like actually compete with like top 4, top 5 teams? I'm not as convinced with that.
很多情况下都被 AG 提前的给预判到了。是。
I also just think that like weekly team like games like this, instead of like being a full out tournament like Evolution essentially kickoff were, I think this format of events might not necessarily work that well for DRG. Because I think like strategically they're like, and maybe like meta wise with the agents they play, they're not as on top of it as other teams. They just sort of win out because they have like good individuals, and like Vukashu especially. So if a team has a week to prepare for a DRG, it's fairly easy to read some of the strats that they have, and it's also fairly easy to find out what Vukashu likes to do to make sure that he can't get as much impact as he usually would. When it's just like a tournament like Evo, where you just playing in like day in, day out, you don't really have much time to anti-strat, that's where teams like DRG can do really well.
MVP 也是给到了 Bunt 作为优影，在这张地图他抓了非常多的机会，并且精准击败率也是非常高的，
来到了42.1.9的一个 KDA。This
game's been so good, yeah.
在最后的一个关键残局里面，其实他也是有所解决掉了那个已经非常。
Yeah, Breeze is going to be fun. What were they running comms-wise last time? Oh, I didn't put it in. No, I did put it in. Jet, Silver, KO, Viper, Cypher. I think that's probably likely to stay the same, right? If Xion stays on the Silver.
上一张地图的雕币比较像。
是。
Breeze, Lord knows what they'd pick. If I was to guess,
打好打满。
Viper, Cypher, Sova,
对方进点之后回防的处理上
Jet
成熟一点，然后包括其实率先击败数也是跟着
probably KO. I don't know if Monk's played much KO though.
但是我们可以看到这张地图里面，第二季还是会存在一个问题是，确实截锋没有那么好用，而且让 Look 这一张地图，我觉得手感可能也会。
Did we see? Sorry, stats.
会更成熟一点，然后包括
all gamers here finding the majority of first kills.
而且两边又是把这个比分啊打。
Yeah, Vukashu like. Highest ACS and still losing. No help. At least Spitfire's like clawed it back a little bit. It's just Luke couldn't get anything going. But the Battle of the Breaches was pretty close too. Give me some Euro gameplay on Breeze. I don't know if you're going to see it from either team really, because they're so... I guess it'd be cool if you could run like Spitfires and LB as like double duelist. Like Jet Yoru there would be kind of cool. I feel like all gamers would be the kind of team to actually like try and play like Breach on this map. Like some Breach neon stuff might like be nice. Actually, give me a second. I am going to mute and deafen because I'm just going to get set up on like some casting later. So I'm just going to get that set up. So give me a sec.
Was causing it to drop frames, even though it said it was coming through at like 50 FPS. It was it actually looked like 12 at sometimes. But yeah, it looks smooth today.
All right, everything should be pretty good now. Mute myself on VMix. Audio busted or just me? Well, like my microphone? Why, how's it sound? Never mind, it's good. Yeah, it might have just been odd for a second. I got like a lot of stuff going in and out of it, so it's tricky to keep on top of. Neon and Euro. Yeah, stun TP combo. With like how fast the stun travels, I do think that like Neon is definitely a bit of an underrated pick at the moment. Hey Zampoyo.
好的，欢迎回来。您现在收看的是无畏契约CN联赛第一赛段的比赛现场，我是袁振生。
好，大家好，
How are you? I'm good. Just trying to like keep myself busy, I suppose.
目前看来都是打好打满。
But how's it been going for you?
是，那前面的2张地图其实都已经来到了11比13这样的一个比分，是的，非常接近。但
I don't think we're going to be finishing on it, but might be calling it a little bit close in time.
没有到最后的一个回合，你都没有办法去分辨出来到底谁有可能去拿下这场比赛的胜利。
其实有做过很多的非常规，在上一张地图有非常多可聊的点。首先，比如说，DRG 首先是换阵了，他凭借杰锋的一个瞬间爆发力去抓。
Do we have up-to-date stats of this series now?
让机会从手时间溜
走。
是，我们可以看到这2张地图打下来以后，很明显的一个点，在很多地方其实是有对于 DRG 有非常多的战术的针对和部署。
Fukashi's on 39 kills.
游戏的一个办法，很多情况下也会呈现在选手有非常恐怖的个人能力。
I think Delby on the Sentinel has been working out wonderfully.
策略和个人枪法
Don't think this has.
明显的一个针锋相对的。
Like I said, I think it's like probably easier to find like some cracked duelist player for all gamers to incorporate if it's not working for Spitfires. Only trialing some people. I mean, I'd imagine it'd be worth waiting to see after this event, right? There's a lot of players that are in contenders still that they're not going to be making it.
牌角度也是非常多的，比如说 A 区，它可以从管道开门，可以从 A 长进，可以从中路的木门进。
Oh, they are running Spitfires back on the Sentinel, and then Delby's on Euro.
是选择到了单决斗的夜路 ，Luke 选手的夜路。
Both running the same comp actually. That's kind of weird. Like this the meta
来到了决斗的位置上面，让
for shining out on this map.
常规体系的复制阵容。
对，
You think the tech bench of some good players? Yeah, I mean, you could pick up maybe like Chu.
有海神加蝰蛇双强体验，但是他没有想到两边都拿了。
Yeah, double harbor on this map is.
效果可能会一般。
我觉得两边都有这样的双控。
I don't know why you wouldn't go Astra in either case if you've got the Euro.
熟练度的这个地方会有非常大程度的一个放大，就是你
So yeah, strange
把你的夜路的熟练度展现出来。
Strange map choices.
两边都有双控场的一个情况下。
Black and Shapeless is also good. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking more like duelist to replace Spitfires if it comes to it.
难度两边都很高。
But yeah, Black is good. Both those players are good, and Chu.
你的夜路在近点之后能不能活下来，能不能造击杀，那可能又是另外一件事。
I actually do like the All Gamers jersey, so
打他理想中的出烟
like the slightly orange. It might be the lighting.
这样的一个技能上的 combo 和配合啊，来看一下。
But like the texture on it looks really nice.
非常规阵容的一个镜像，来看一下这两支队伍也是心有灵犀到一块了啊。
可以说是谁没发挥谁尴尬了，因为两边的位置几乎是完全重合对位上的。
是。
好的，进入到比赛画面，看一下两边的手枪局。先行由 AG 担任进攻方，由 DRG 担任防守方。
Third map.
这场 BO3 的决胜。
First time that we've ever seen all gamers play Breeze, both playing the same comp, which is like Harbor Viper with a Euro.
的一个地步了。
是的
So a little bit unique. It's funny that both teams are playing it.
交火的 AG 作为进攻方，先行的控住了 A 场，拿取技能点，看来是想要以运营为主了。
是这张地图的。
I guess teams feel like they struggle a lot with like fighting for this.
情况下会更加偏向于进攻方。
中路的渗透其做的。
Because this was like a.
防做了前压。
Like a T1 wall when they were running Harbor at kickoff.
因为爆能器其实在靠近 B 的位置。
是，但是这个位置如果自己出来倒在这儿就尴尬了。
Nem and Bleed were doing a lot of it.
稳是正确的，因为猎枭的这张地图非常的重要啊。
What was the recon? Yeah, I mean it missed, whatever it was. Vukashi's taking a lot of spray damage. I mean, this is the site you just don't want to go to, right? Vukashi on B of all places. There's a place to just get unlocked as a player, it's there. Yeah, cutting across with this wall, you got a trip, so if anybody pushes elbow on defense, they're gonna get spotted. Xion just out in the open. TCH stayed by to slow this down. Gonna check, see if anybody's gonna push this, and actually looking like it's gonna flank all the way around. But I mean, it has just... You snake bit this, and then nobody's like contesting for it anymore. Which I think if I'm Nick, it'd be nice to know that like this is just not being held and I'm holding it alone. Still like a lot of crazy damage. But you can play post plant here nicely for all gamers. Nice try. All gamers. Yeah, strange stuff, but that's pretty much been part of the cost for this whole series, it feels like. And suddenly Delby's on duelist and he gets a free K.
TZH 其实有个很大的伏笔，但他后续就打2个可能不太够。那这一分枪械优势也是来到了 AG 这一边。
Any force up? Not really. I found a sheriff for Vukashu.
对的，长枪会在这张地图里面会有更加明显的一个。
And they already have the Euro round 2.
往上去顶，打个出烟闪。
Flash is perfect, but there's no like real position to follow up on it. And they've already picked up the like orb, so it's fine for them to just back out. I mean, are you going to use the ultimate on this round?
还是要去拉扯。AG 在进攻的时候，这几个回合，这第二个包括第二个回合。
Because it feels a little bit of a waste to like use that orb up for you and then not use your ultimate on this round. AG wins more pistol rounds, I remember. Yeah, I mean, I think they're on top of it now. It's either like 3-2 or 3 or 4-1.
我开始就一把正义。
假身进来，探到位置，我开始只能走啊。那现在爆能器安置完之后，这一个远打近，或者说长枪打短枪就没什么机会了啊。
是，那看一下这个回合怎么去选择了，而且 DLB 手里的终极技能都还在，他甚至
At least they're like saving the ultimate. Nothing really else is like close by.
终极技能去拿到一点优势。
是的，来了，开始找机会，但是是把害灵，远距离不好打，并且有人在绕。
They've just walked all the way around.
接得很稳，路克收掉了一个。
I mean, in these moments, I think that's where like Harbor can work for DRG. Because you've got 2 kills. You didn't stop the plant, which is unfortunate, but like everything else seems to have worked pretty well.
把战线拉长，把对枪环境改变成一个远距离，就不容易出问题。这也是这张地图。
Xion is quite good. I'm still a bit sad that they dropped Dingwei. Yeah, it was impressive, like from what he was able to do in such a short amount of time. I don't necessarily think that he was the problem. But like, I think flexibility becomes an issue. Like, I don't think Dingwei could play Harbor really.
当成一个小害灵小幻影来使用。
来看一下，要来。
第3分就有神鬼不绝了。
是，其实第2分的时候就已经冲动完毕了，但是第2分是完完全全的省了下来，要进去找人了。我开始已经先穿掉了 Monk。
All right, Vukashi's found 2 actually, just playing from the bottom of the stairs. 3.
不是
The Euro ultimate just getting absolutely nothing. It feels like a value.
对，我们确实第一时间没有看到我开始的一个视角，但是我们看到
And
了
then you've got Spitfires in mid, Delby. I have to keep checking their names now just because I know, like, I've got used to being like, okay, Spitfires is the duelist. And now it's like, he's back on the Sentinel, so I'm just gonna probably keep confusing him out. Gotta be a save, right?
直接掉在这个位置了，想要再去操作难度系数相当之高，方法队员所有人都已经是过来了。
Wasn't really even much of a bonus either, like a buy up here from Salt 9.
毕竟自己还有像索奈队友是没有经济。
Vukashi's alpha but good. That's not like alpha's good.
正面的接架火力真的好恐怖啊！
是，特别是这种远点的对枪，我开始。 他的个人枪法能力是更加能够去体现出来的。
But I think both like Alpha and Vukashi sort of suffer from the same problem. Is that sometimes it's kind of hard to incorporate them into a team.
他最后这一个2选1也是选择到了微风岛屿嘛？
对的。 这样的话应该是要选择到宝枪了。
I will take Alpha Slander here of all places.
第二季这里用更加强硬的枪法去成功的给度过了。
Happy for everybody else to get slandered, but
会有这种情况，
not
难免
Alpha.
有那么1到2个回合，我卡鼠就用枪说话了，他的话语权还挺硬的，那就是没有办法。 但其实我觉得 AG 一定会做好对手有人突然开始发挥的准备的，毕竟他们的对手自己也很了解了。
对，长枪回合1把枪都没有掉，非常舒服。而且我开鼠哇，其实还是无甲的一个状态，我开鼠又是一个无甲。
Alright.
我的天哪！
啊，这样点到3个人吗？
Probably their style is that they're not fragging, they look really silly. Yeah, sometimes it's like, same with like playing duelists, like knowing when you need to be sort of more passive and more like a general threat as opposed to when you need to be proactive and aggressive and push to find space. It's not an easy thing to like get right, I don't think.
非常高的，对的。虽然之前打这张图偏少吧，但是对于这个头部命中点位是很清晰的。中路夹击，这一分才是 AG 的重头戏啊！因为当前来到关键分了，他们得赢这一分。
Spitfires is just full running. Like they hit all of this clumping in holes.
是一个名牌开门，想要跟 A 小级 A 场打一个3方向进 A。
海顿自己能够先从海顿里面再拖延一会儿。
这一波很难接。
Xion just getting shot in the back of the head. This wall is nice. Like just a like full contact walk up here with a harbor wall. Good round, because so much attention was focused on holes because of Spitfires just being noisy.
Spitfire 就是名牌自己在2楼的一个位置。
小火龙就自己完了，他现在通过开门。
Bukashi's still alive though. That's the problem. What team was Xion on before? On DRG, he was just a sub. Like he was on the main roster, then he got benched, and now he's got brought back again.
这个枪也很硬啊。
这个地方我觉得没有报到2楼有人是可能会有一点存在沟通上的一个失误。
It's like Sentinels bring back Pancada.
巨大脚步在2楼咚咚咚咚咚的跑。
Same sort of thing.
对。
估计是身位控制有点问题吧，但不影响这一分的走向了。现在一个5打2的残局 ，DLB 出来抓人，
just as the recon comes in, forced to save.
同时，我觉得现在在 AG 的视角应该
Spitfires is spitting fire now. I mean, looks it. I think if this works for all gamers, they should just keep it as that Delby's the duelist and Spitfires is on Sentinel.
来了一个完全没有任何掉枪的情况。
对，这个3方向进点，我觉得小火龙会立一个很大的功劳。他在2楼给了很大的压力。
I root for DRG because I like the dragon logo. I think it's also like I want Ascension teams to do well.
小头皮的位置一直会露出来，特别多方向都得去看。
Like in all of the regions, I want the Ascension teams to not just be like bottom of the barrel, right? At least we can have that with like G2 and DRG to an extent, but like Gentle Mates, not sure that they'll be much better. Like good winning against BBL yesterday, but I mean the quality of the series was pretty bad. I feel like that with watching all of EMEA at the moment, just like I know I'm watching China where it's very sloppy and it's not as good. But like, I guess I was expecting more of like EMEA. Like either I think they're just overcooking with some comps that just don't need to be overcooked, or they're just getting like basic things wrong.
这还能打到，就对点位太清楚了。
是，也送到了这样的一个位置，把战术监控给打。
哎，看到一个枪，但可惜啊，只是打到。
At least for China, you have the fact that it's just a super mechanically gifted region.
非常强势的想要去拿到这个中路的控制权啊！
是。
那第2季第一时间也没有选择在中路跟你继续去交火了，但是他们这样的话是会失去太多的地图信息了。 中路完全不知道的情况下，只能用消息无人机。
Alright, you spotted the Cypher at least.
小火龙一个人。
The way DRG plays enrages me with how Bukashi turns into God and bails him out.
想办法去拿到对面的主攻动向，但现在好像不需要拿了。夹 A 之势已经形成，狂潮隔绝，正面升起独木 ，A 场夹击马上就要到位。
I mean that's a similar thing for a lot of Chinese teams.
接一边很聪明，接的是 A 场，全白的，还在掏技的。
Alright, nice play from DRG. Like really good timing to go for that too.
哇，很难受啊。
但是他们是
having the spike, like Xion is. Got the cove as well if you want something else to play around. Really good, like cutting noise, walking up, playing together, most importantly, AG. Doesn't matter though, Xion still gets 2. Oh, I mean, that would have been incredible if Delby was able to pull that off.
第2季的一个选择打得非常的清楚。
Tracy Spot's going to be really interesting this time around. I look forward to seeing what potential they find with Lao King and how they managed to integrate him. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's an interesting move because, like, for the eye test, Lao King during evolution looked solid. Kickoff, no, because all of TYLOO looked tragic. So I guess it's interesting to see what low king would bring that flexing doesn't. I know they've sort of said like flexibility and stuff, but it's got to be more than that.
崩盘的一个局面啊，
包括上一分 AG 是交出了自己的神经曲息的，那在中文技能上，第二季还会有一定的小优势，包括 TYLOO 的神鬼不绝也快充能好了。
I feel like we were tech, but they actually look fundamentally solid. Yeah, I think it's just that they kind of look.
OK， 就打你 A 场，知道你 A 场人少了。
If they get sort of beaten down bad, they just lose all like mental.
只有这么快的体验枪吗？还是再接，又有一个，又是
Nice Xion, Jesus, that's why they brought him in.
方技能的台米要被找到吗？哎呦，标配差一点，芒克还好是能够把人给截住，打了一个闪。
And look at TZH just running all the way through. Don't splinter too much. Like here, if you're TZH, just back up. Like you know where the spike is. You've got the rotation if they try and go elsewhere. You got to trip up in holes. Like this is good. I really like how quickly Nick came to like help across here too. See, doesn't have a recon. But you're going into the side where you also have like Cypher util. So like DRG, like Xion winning these fights is great, but like how they're reacting to all of this is really nice too. Like really nice call from Nick. Really good team play with like TZH.
有点像是这种三方向，就是我把进攻方打成一个包夹包饺子，但是你这样你有一个部分的纰漏线了，那它一整个线都会流出来。
V's reading this nicely too, like adjusting, moving. Hard to play for the crosshair, but he does it anyway. Can't wait for China to catch up strategically. Yeah, I don't think it's going to take long. It's just the thing that's going to slow the region down is just they can put in all of the effort to make like their default stronger, like build up protocols. But it's just not as fun as like either just scrimming a load or aim training a load, or like playing scrims without that kind of discipline, or just playing scrims for fun almost. We have 4 competitive regions where teams that win tournaments will get insane tournaments. Yeah, I mean, I think the international events is the things that really like sell VALORANT esports. Like, I'd like the international leagues themselves to feel more valuable than they are. Because right now it just feels like a means to an end. But the international leagues don't matter, it's just the teams that qualify for them to attend international events. Oh, it is a tech pause, yeah. Oh man, at this rate I'm not going to be able to watch any of like freaking JDG versus Edward.
试用期已经承担了非常多前点火力上的覆盖了，他就这2分已经有2个3杀出现了，基本拿完一个3杀这1分就结束，拿一个3杀这分就结束。那后续的情况该怎么去扭转呢？你首先不可能只针对试用期这个点位的，但是它必须得解决，因为每一波夹击进点都受到很大阻碍。那接下来其实我觉得可以考虑去换一个点打。 或是说像之前那样，比如说我通过中路的烟雾控中，先控完中，我把你人勾出来，就用一种类似于钓鱼的状态去找击杀。
我是会比较相信。
Somewhere to go. Yeah, I've got casting at 2 o'clock, and it's 12:30 now. So I'll probably have to dip in like an hour.
连续的执行这一个战术的主要原因是可能会有点不符。
Well, casting I'm doing Polaris. It's like last week before playoffs.
是吧？就是。
有种你再赚一次，
对，有种你再赚一次，
结果真赚了。
With how crazy Chinese gaming culture is, they'll definitely emphasize drilling protocols eventually.
要再去寻找新的一个战术去想办法来打了。
是的。
LPL is not drilled. I mean, it's a different kind of game, like for League, right?
夜路的中位技能两边都有了。
对。
那在中位技能的
to an extent
哪边能找到一些优势？这其实会比较考验选手，因为夜路的神鬼不绝，它其实有2种使用方法。第一种呢是，哎，我拿来就纯当。
Is it in person? No, it's online. I'm literally like set up ready to go, which is why I dipped very quickly in the break, like I muted and stuff, so I just got set up in the VMix call.
这是2种风格的打法，一种偏激进，一种偏保守。
想要自己来去操作的这种情况也是有可能会出现的，而且其实
watch you cast IRL. I mean, I'm not really working that much casting stuff anyway, so doing anything IRL is going to be tricky.
夜路这里去留些空隙出来，让他有更多的出烟闪的操作，或者说用假神去做一些配合在的。
是的。 两边其实对夜路体系的理解还是
How well is DRX Team Secret 3 DRX 5?
让我觉得很惊艳的操作，他只身一人。
I mean, that'll be a good series to watch.
开门打一个 TP 回点会。
Yeah, I'll probably just host like the main China stream.
这种打法其实比较的艺高人胆大了。
是。 这张地图目前的话，其实我们会发现2楼的防守其实第二季
I think it might just slide into top 4 IGLs alongside Haldong, Berlin, and Hebei.
这边你大胆的去控。
是，但其实有注意到一个点，就是在
trying to think of like other IGLs that I'd sort of say. So like for EDG, you got Haldong, you got Berlin,
其实 counter 夜路上可能不太够，夜路
Hebei.
进入到这个对手的家中的，
对，这是最大的一个问题。
但是开门
I definitely said like top 3 for sure. Sword9.
这个防守现在来说有点太空虚了。我觉得对于第二季来说，你也需要去做一定的调整。
Plix is pretty good as well, I'd say.
有英雄能够站出来，对吧？在我的部署里面
I don't like Abo's IGL in as much.
每个回合都能瞬间拿个3杀拿个。
To be honest, I don't like a duelist playing IGL.
也是能趁当前这个时间点做一些调整吧。
YH.
目前的话，我们可以看
See
到
how well they do. What else does that leave us? Olingo.
的一些原因，那我们也是稍事的
Working my way backwards now. Ice King's quite good. I feel like he had some good calling yesterday. Bear's been like impressive calling wise for Billy. Is that all of them?
队内现在担任最开始担
1,
任
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's all the IGLs. Yeah, got YH.
他更多时候是单摸，很难会跟队友形成联动。但是今天我觉得他跟队友的
Who do I think is more likely to be in top 5?
操刀决斗者的时候，可能依旧也是
Yeah, I'd probably say like
电子的情况。但是我觉得他这个选手的价值还是存在的。
对的。
It's sort of between like Nick, Plix, Bear.
把他安排回到了这个少尉的一个位置嘛，看一下这一张地图里面，少尉有更多
And then let's see how like YH does.
对枪上面。
But I do like
更多的能够恢复自己
Ice King's calling for TYLOO.
这个
Like the most.
几乎每一个
Like not the most, but like I think it's like an underrated part of this team. You know, despite them like also looking like they're struggling
对佩戴
to get a win on the board.
确实非常可爱的一个幽影猫猫。
Picked up some good maps at least.
现场有观众参与到我们的模仿，来看看。哎，这个感觉学的比较像啊。
啊，这个非常对味儿啊。
对味儿了。
It's probably the longest take pause that we've had in China.
字母哥。对。啊，戴了口罩不确定。
I'm just gonna use this as a chance to go for a weed end. So BRB.
好兄弟来打比赛。
其实最近我觉得 DRG 的这个调整也能看得出来。首先是我觉得第一，我卡数他打得更团队了，不知道你们有没有感觉到啊？其实我是从前2张地图有感觉到，因为就 AG 给到了压力的，这说明什么 ？AG 给到了 DRG 一些压力的，所以我卡数得去跟队友做更多的协同去打补枪。再一点呢，试用期的出现，他其实挺敢去抓机会的。试用期我觉得是一个非常擅长在对面竞点过程中创造麻烦的一个选手。
对的，而且他其实等于说也是把他在这个赛段里面 Stage 1的赛段里面把他换上来，让他来打的。那我觉得他一上场以后，今天的状态是非常恐怖的，手非常的热。
Nick 和唐哲浩，我觉得就是组成了 DRG 的一个最稳的一环吧。他们更多的时候是兜残局为主。好的，那么暂停也是终于结束了，回到我们的比赛。
那这个回合 AG 也是因为前2个回合想要去这样硬打，都是被对手的个人能力去化解掉了。现在的经济情况不是特别的乐观，但是 DLB 选手他的终极技能是再次充能了，包括像 Monk 他的爆拳也已经是准备就绪。
是的，这一分整体还是偏慢打呀。AG 也是想要慢慢的去寻找对面的习惯，但是啊这一分做了一个站位的变换，我卡数从 B 区转移到了 A 点。
中路给上了一个进攻方 AG 这里的一个枭星无人机，但是我们其实可以看到这几个回合 DRG 对于中路的控制啊，他们都不会特别强。
See how well he does in the EDG series. I know.
只要你的
should be a really good series.
摸到我的出生点就 OK。我们看到会有第2时间的枭星无人机去补一下中路。
除了狂潮基本就是如1703所说，但是第2时间夹击其实已经快要形成了。
要来，
我建议你闪开。爆拳引发，
爆拳直接给。 人在往后
Wasn't round 7 before, right? We've not had like a round reset.
这么灵吗？
不敢。
哎，学起来，我这个我真学了。
哎呦 ，Monk 刚刚过去，其实看着也蛮吓人的。那个这个位置
打了一个。
Is that another kill that they got? Our sword was here.
是的，他从 A 小摸排进来，也是给到了刺身的机会，又在穿。
这太吓人了，这个地方。
哇，半线还触发了。
是的，
这根本进不来啊 ！A 点有点固若金汤了。
我觉得踩到半
I
线。
think Actually just knows all of the key spots, like just literally spamming.
其实他们应该已经
fairly easy round. Yeah, I just wanted to check that there was no like rollback or anything like that.
会意识到自己可能赌错点了。
I wasn't like tracking the
选错边了吧？
thingies that closely.
看似中路过得很轻松，看似 A 场没有那个试用期了，但是真正的杀招又在我卡数的身上。
是的，这有一根半线在这里啊。
哇！ 这真没得说吧？就这个位置他已经百试不爽了，后续真的得考虑蹲着过这个口了。
是，主要这几个回合 AG 也基本上都是对 A 去做这样的一个战术部署，那导致说
Good idea to time out now, I think, because you've had like a break where like for tick pauses you weren't allowed to talk at all.
暂停叫了。
So, you know, sometimes with a break like that, people can like lose a bit of their energy, lose a bit of focus, forget the game plan a little. So, if you see around like that, calling a timeout, just being like, all right, let's just have like a minute to talk and like get out of our heads maybe.
侦测以及第二季其实是有2套模式的，它一套是一个
So it's worked out like marvelously timing wise.
另一套呢是前点通过海神加夜路打 combo 去限制对手摸牌。
是的，2套的一个战术在 A 点都。
I wonder how much of a fan base Vukasu actually like has now, like in China.
部署我觉得打出来的效果都是非常好的。
如果要结合 AG 的目前表现来看，我觉得他们得想办法，就是他们不再是那个拆招人，他要想办法出更。
TYLOO actually looked quite good yesterday as well. Aaron looked great. Flexing didn't impress me as much as he probably should have done. Most importantly, Chiframite, yeah, looked much more like comfortable on Sentinel.
你只能说去改变自己
Good role to put him on.
的打法。
是。 DLB 手里还是有自己的神鬼不绝在的。
Yeah, I think flexing looking rough though isn't too much of a shock.
AG 上个回合其实也是混起，这个回合依然还是。
You could say like, oh yeah, because Aaron's new to the team, they didn't struggle, but flexing's new to the team, he did. Like it shouldn't be an excuse, but you've got flexing playing more like support utility. Aaron's like, well, I mean, Aaron was more like supporting some of the stuff he was doing too.
其实听到了一些零的动静，但究竟是不是单挂，其实对于 DRG 来说是不知道的。
是，有一个爆能器，现在还是在后方的位置，更多的还是对于 AG 这一招我们见过，对吧？想要来控制一下中路的这样的一个节奏。
对，而且 A 场压了 ，A 场这里直接给了一个不请自来往对面家里送。
但是 DRG 的这个防守策略也是一样，就是我中路可以给你，我至少我这集感觉看过，对吧？然后在这儿，对吧？我开始跟他搞了2下，啊，不搞了，撤退，第2时间再去转打 A。
是不给机会的，并且做了一个假棋骗人。
这儿有一个锚点在进攻方。
AK kind of whiff.
是刚刚转点过程中其实有。
Yeah, I do also like moving him to duelist more.
是的，回身给了一枪，而且这有个台阶，我开始不太好去左右拉扯。
那 B 点其实能进了，但我们是上帝视角，但 AG 不清楚 B 点只有1个人。
Right, again, it's sort of a strange setup.
然后肖允熙在这个地方给了一个海盾，自己被找了一个侧身。看
You got these two players separated for the time being.
给了一个扑流，看到了。
Oh, Xion is just getting so much like value. Just has like the Euro to help. Good fight for Spitfires to win. And this is a full eco, but the eco is actually doing a lot.
用枪法说话，但是我卡叔有信心。
They're pinging it, so they know that there's somebody close.
现在是他在明，敌在暗，但是刚刚又看到了 Monk，
现在都在明了，2个人互相看到了。
哦呦 ，Monk 好像很赶啊，但是
just getting it. He was running out of bullets there with how he was fighting.
掉的枪比较多，但是对于 DRG 来说，他们都
Yeah, good. One of the teammates spotting the player here was good.
我觉得也能接受，这是很提士气的一分。他们已经
just meant that like Bunt had no idea where he was coming from. He was out in the open.
和2把数位，但他们打到对面4把长枪，是一个不错的结果，是一个 nice eco。并且，其实我会觉得这样意味着他们当前这一套空中慢摸打法是有成效的。只要对手暂时没有想出解决办法的话，后续关键分也可以这么玩。
是。但是这几个回合
，What weapon did Monk have like in that final fight?
B 点都没有给到过太大。
2 and 7 too.
我觉得这个可能也看一下 AG 后续。
You got Euro ultimate again, and then Viper's Pit. They're just not bothering with B at all. Like they're so scared of like Vukashu's util, I guess. And Luke misses with the up.
可惜这枪想传走，但是是有抬手僵直的 DLB 在这随时准备打闪，没闪到。
Almost screwed it up. Kinda did screw it up. The trade's actually going in favor of DRG.
无息间到了这么高的位置。
然后2楼的半线现在被小火龙给打掉了。
Spitfires opens a door, breaks a trip, puts the cage up. It's kind of nice. Like so much like pressure just from 3 little moves.
信息四处都有藏人的可能，但最后的
It's a good Viper's Pit.
一定是把握不到的。
Camera just checking. This trip I'm a little bit worried about, but I do break it. Recon see if there's anybody backside. Spitfires has found like this late rotation. Narrow theft. Gonna pressure this a bit more. Aldron see if he can get to TCH because they just used their own Viper's Pit. Interesting round. They also need to be very careful, or at least a bit more aware of like Spitfire still lurking. Like Spitfire's lurk has found everything. Like I'm watching this more and I'm just like, why would you not just have Spitfires on Sentinel the whole time? Because being like the individuality that like Spitfires has here, like all of the stuff that he does is so useful. Like breaking the trip, doing all of this stuff here, it pulls the rotations across, he's still there, gets this kill with the defender that's going through, and then lurks up mid to get a late pick onto an ulting Viper. It's just a one-man army here. Almost gets the third as well. But that's the best thing that like Spitfires has done all day.
稍微放肆了一些吧，最后的结果上是完全没有闪到黄守光的成员。
这张图其实我觉得会坚持拿幻影的选手还挺少的，比如说突然发现一点啊。
They're pinging this a lot.
和 Spitfires 他们俩其实都是有选择到幻影。
Stay by it, shock dart, stop anybody from fighting in here. And then the ult me situation.
OK。
Body blocking him as well, so he can't actually get back.
安全，但是管道前压了，注意这一波管道上的夜路前顶是带着把明狙的。
哦。
Alright, so you still have Luke with the off.
那么灵活的去找人。
看到了。
Oh, he missed again.
Luke 今天的明狙好像有点失常。
是 Luke 目前还没有找到自己最好的一个状态，有个侧身的机会，就藏在底下了。
Really clean from all gamers.
还在出，还在摸，看到一个蹦蹦跳跳的蹦塔。
感觉高打击也不是那么好打，因为坡度实在有点太大了。能够接住一人，但自己的位置已经是暴露出来，给了一个蛇吻。第二时间不让去补枪，但是
Yeah, and Spitfires gets another free.
3杀到手。小火龙打得很舒服，他时而单摸，时而脱离团队，时而又。
Yeah, the more that I'm watching this, the more I'm just like, if you're like trying to move Spitfires over to main duelist, don't.
我觉得都是在于 Luke 现在还没有找到自己最好的一个状态。
是。 可能这个明狙如果能打到一些击杀
Yeah, just literally getting him stuck right behind the arrow. And a really nice position for Spitfires to look up to. Especially with the door open.
这个玩得非常自由，有非常大的这个开火权啊。
And I guess no surprise that DRG would call a timeout at this point.
上半场其实只剩下2个回合了嘛，但是这一个暂停其实对于这2分 DRG 其实是比较想要去争夺的啊。
比分的归属权其实现在还是存在着悬念的，但是其实我个人觉得从经济上来看 ，DRG 可能很快会面对到关键分的情况，但是好像连续的丢分，这连麦补偿也快拉起来了，具体还要在游戏中看。
经济应该我看后面2个回合应该是都够的，
够 OK， 但是明狙能不能起出来会成为一个问题。
对的，
就明狙这个点，虽然说可能目前看来有一点点烧火棍，但是一旦知道明狙的发现，明狙的出现，那他一定是有一定压制力，他会逼迫进攻方去交出一些，比如说。 枭形无人机，或者说像这种闪光技能去过。
Like Monk's hair, the headband, just iconic.
这里举的这个牌子也有举到一个 Luke， 这是 rank， 希望 Luke 能够来到一个比较放松的
Yeah, 10 and 5, 10 and 7.
太大压力。
Again, like it's like Luke is struggling. Last 2 maps. I mean, that's pretty much been like par for the course for a lot of DRG stuff. Of like, Luke can have. Like 1 good map, 2 bad maps, or 2 good maps, 1 bad map. It just seems to like swing it so much. Even like halves, it feels like you could have Luke being just absolutely like dog on defense, but on attack he might just absolutely come alive. Like it's very It's not even like inconsistent. It's like consistently inconsistent. Like just on sides, on maps. But I think when he plays bad, it's so hard to see him like come back and look good on the same map. So like binary almost. If he looks bad here, he's going to look bad for the rest of this half. Does he look bad at the start of their attack? He's going to look bad for the rest of their attack, right? A lot of ultimates now for DRG to work with. Money is still like very close and very tight
监
though.
控是能看中的，后面会。他现在不开啊，那好像中要过人。
So much time has been wasted. All gamers have just hoping to find something mid, somebody to overextend, somebody to push out. You've got the Aldron out of them from up here. Nobody's putting pressure in holes, but because AG have like conditioned this so much,
这骗不到人，但是还真有人打，力挽狂澜直接给。
there's a lot of threat in this position, especially if you had a shocked out lineup to break this at the start.
但是被闪速度非常快，多奈出手了，连打2个 Nick 在烟的高点，但他没有什么出枪角度。
Plant's gonna come in. It just goes down, even if the Spitfires goes down here, it's still planted.
目前只是拉回到了一个人数均势的残局。
They find LB just outside, like the late clear from mid.
被找到了应该是。
Nerfest shows at the buff in
已经是确认了。
A main, and you got one shocked out, no snake bites. I don't really like that Bunt just goes to peek and fight that, but I understand it. Like you don't have anything to work with, but I think that you can like play time a little bit more.
Nick 的一个终极技能也是有非常不错的一个收益啊。再加上更硬的枪法在这个回合的体现。
再一点可能是因为
You're just hoping to like catch multiple people lining up, I guess.
可以看到
背得很快，而且正好是也是有个 timing 是多奈正在。
Yeah, this kill from TZH is pretty major.
所以他也是这个背掉了这个闪。
And I guess a really important trade came in from Nick actually from Bunt just bunting it out of A main.
压力还是会比较给到 AG 这一边，因为现在可以看到第二季在那个暂停之后，好像逐步适应节奏了，而且自己所预期的把对手打进这个经济劣势分，好像并没有怎么出现。
对 AG 的这一套战术，上半场打的回合有点多了，感觉第二季刚刚已经是适应住了，再来一次，
还要再来吗？他们好像丝毫不担心自己会被对面针对啊。
Again, it's like fine for mid. This should be a dead give. Like this is a very China thing of just. It's very clear on where they're going.
回合要准备来试一下 B 点了。 要进来了，
位置暴露了，要吃震荡。
I mean, the reckoning is good. Like, it just makes fighting for these positions really hard.
出来找了个背身，第二时间也打2个，很可惜，此时是。
Alright, nice response from all gamers though. Like, you lose the last round, the money is still really tight for DRG because they've been losing the last couple. So all gamers are just like, yeah, let's carve it through. Why is this so close? Because all gamers are a good team. I don't think they're like playoffs potential, but I don't think DRG are either. Bukashu is the best aim in China. Certainly top 3.
上半场的12个回合里面，基本上就只有一次是认认真真要去正儿八经要去打一个回合 B， 但这一个回合就拿下了比较关键的。
I don't know who is the best aim really. I have to think about it a bit more. Like naturally you want to say like Kong Kong or Chi Chu, but. RB's aim is crazy. I think, like, I don't know if it's... I feel like, for me, Smoggy and Nobody are a little bit overrated for EDG.
打到目前为止，第二季特别是 Luke 这里，他可能对于神鬼
Spring's like okay. YU's pretty good aim-wise too.
并没有想象中的那么大。
YOU has his moments. Stu, obviously.
三个人的故事
啊，第4位也出现了啊，这是接力吗？
是的
，OK。
You'd have to do it by role just because there's so many like good aimers, and it's also like what do you constitute as like good aim, right? Like is it being able to play stuff like Guardian, Marshal, Operator, Outlaw? Is it a duelist being able to like jump into a site and flick onto a player, or is it like taking aim duels from distance?
但是可能我个人觉得第二季更多时候利用的是地图上的优势，它凭借比如穿
Respect Smoggy. I don't feel as bad about Smoggy as I do about Nobody. It's like I know that Nobody's a good player, but I think that moving him to like be pure like initiator role is kind of clipped his wings a little bit. HFMI's in the audience? Oh, nice. I guess he'd be cheering for his attacking soul like teammates. Because HFMI was on a team with these two. And also the coach. Yeah, Guan is also insane. Life is also a good one too, yeah.
下半场两边攻防互换，第二季打进攻 ，AG 打防守。注意一下，进攻方的落位是 B 区，感觉要打 rush。
I think Chu, yeah, the player that Tech just dropped, had some pretty awesome aim as well.
不会让3个人直接 rush 进去。
合理，这个不请自来是往回放的，并且 TZH。
I'm trying to think of like players that just seem to like Martin has like low key some really good aim.
回到了 A 点，但是爆能器没带。
I'm trying to think of like the underrated players that
收集到一点信息。
aren't like the stars of a roster that just win some crazy rounds because their like mechanics are good. Yeah, 6 ult. Got a trip over here, like really is same setups. I think I prefer this wall though that goes across that DRG were using in this one, but it might be just a pistol wall.
收头，但是哦哟，狂怒混烟混一个吗？
是的，人数的优势已经非常大了。想打闪，
来了，
接到脸上了。
They just know where he is and clear him perfectly. Oh yeah, Viva for sure.
然后他要做那个鬼脸，他开枪的时候会有那个愤怒的表情。
对，
耶路这个经典的愤怒表情。
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't say Viva earlier.
进攻方之后啊，这个
trying to go for everybody now.
是的。
But FPX, I feel like we said everybody. EDG, Trace, Fung. Fung's aims is pretty like awesome.
这个回合其实我们有看到 DRG 这里的一个运营，但是更多一锤定音的还是在于选手的这个个人能力，这个拉开以后单打的这样的一个情况。
是的，而且这一分的起枪还挺有说法，是一把。
Like I think Vukashi's up there with just like aim skill. Like Vukashi was definitely like top 3. But I couldn't tell you who the other 2 players like on that list are. You know.
现在已经有4个点数了。
YZ, I think YZ's mechanics are like good, but I think what makes YZ such a good duelist is like the game sense of being a duelist. Like the man doesn't give a shit if he's satcheling in with a judge and finding openings for his team, right?
是，
哎，看到人了，
漏了一点身位，
出枪速度偏慢，第二时间在补烟，烟雾的。 这个阻隔效果是不错的。
我的妈呀，他举着
Everybody's here though. The whole stack of eco weapons. So there's one.
是的，舌吻只烫到了。
This is very like Sentinels inspired. I feel like a full classic eco.
再来去寻求一个近距离的交火，但是
These guys are getting ready for the All Gamers Classic bundle so they can show it off. Which has been data mined apparently. It's in the next patch. Or maybe not like in the next patch, but like there's stuff from the data mine in the next one.
这一波拆完了，可就有点太。
I just want to be careful to be saying it because I don't want it to sound like I'm saying that yeah we're getting the next patch for example.
海神存在，所以会出现的问题是烟真的很混乱，然后拼点好像也出现了一点小失误啊，而且这些枪确实也不是很好混。 数位本身的这个开枪频率就会比较慢一点嘛，
包括刚才这个顺爆，其实把场上几乎所有人都白了。
对，
行吧，那对吧？你白了，我也白了，我们公平对枪，跟我们俩都看得见是一样的。但是只能说这分很可惜啊，是直接。
How'd you get the defuse? I didn't even notice.
有点怪，这个回合有点怪，只能说。
7比7，哇，两边真的好焦灼啊，这个分差都没有拉开到2分过啊。
You got the Viper Wall, Sova, and Cypher over here.
马上狂潮，第二时间还是劝退了DRG。我们看一下，
I like this setup more from AG than what DRG were doing on defense.
此时这一分只有他有钱能够这样起，而且队伍很相信我卡叔，他很有可能。
Like having a harbor here to like cascade and stuff, and then maybe you have the poison cloud here too.
是，小型无人机看一下中路有没有。
I mean, they've used the Poison Cloud on attack to try and get across in holes, but the Euros like push past it. Well, the chances that the star player of League of Legends BLG is also called K-Knight. I think they are both pronounced K-Knight as well. I could be wrong on that though.
是的，这个顺炮好像也不是出烟闪啊，就是打出来放个。
Yeah, YZ's like a superstar.
但他的最终目的是帮助队友从 B 区进去，稀释一些火力。
剩余30秒，不为所动，
完全不为所动。
两边战术感觉真的好像啊！你看 AG 在防守的时
But
候
like coming into kickoff, I was like, I think YZ's like on his like last legs. Spitfires is. Well, like, why would you not just play him on Sentinel the whole time when he looks this good? Like I swear, like from the few rounds that he just gets, like he's got more kills on this map already than he probably has at the other 2 maps combined.
这个回合让他在
Yeah, what I was saying is like in the PTB patch, which is like 8.08, there's data mine stuff for the China classics in there. I don't know if that means that like for the next patch the China skins are going to be in there or not. I don't think so. Feels like that'd be too early. And it also lines up for just being like end of April, start of May. Yeah, AG look good. Pikachu sure loves rifle, no armor, huh? It feels like he's just taking what he's running with what SLK was doing with like half armor strats. He's like, fuck playing half armor, I'm just gonna play no armor. Speaking of which, I'm kind of surprised that like half armor still isn't as popular as it used to be. Because I don't think the Outlaw as a gun has like moved the needle too much. I guess it's the threat that you could just do that could cost you. China have cracked aim, but a little bit lost in fundamentals, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's language barrier is one of the aspects. The other is it's just like mental experience. Like, there's so much pressure that goes onto the players from orgs, like just like families, like the culture side of it, right? Not saying that it's all like you've brought dishonor upon our family if you lose a series. It's not quite that deep, but these guys, like, I don't think the word burnout exists in Mandarin. We gotta keep an eye on the time. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock now.
TZH 也尽力了，只能说这波绕的话，它可能存在着一点风险吧。
是，现在这个比分7-9 ，AG 现在是率先把这个比分拉开到2分。
Spitfires looks better with his onsets for sure. Like, it's a small sample size, but like this is absolutely his best map. And it's not just like he's winning good like mechanical fights, like he's winning with this brain. I can't remember which coach said it, but it might be a fucking Wahujin thing. But like, win the first duel with your aim. Win the first duel with your brain. Win the second with your aim. So like, make sure that like every first duel that you have, like, you're being very like intentional, like finding a good timing, using utility, combining with your like teammates well, utility-wise.
绕到了 ，Look 是突然暴起，而且我开始已经绕到了2楼的一个位置了。
对，这一手绕，哎，还不看。
Bun was just not aware at all where he was.
交流上有点出入吧。追回1分，现在分差又。
When they practice 60 nowadays for 10 months straight. I mean, I think it's such a. I think it's silly. Like, even with like game changers, I think there were some teams like Navi that would like practice for 12 hours, 6 days a week. And it's just. Really depends on what you're doing in those 12 hours, but that just seems way too much for me. You could absolutely be a top team in the world scrimming 4 times a day, 5 days a week. You have ample breaks around it, you have some VOD review, you have some server time.
已经知道你要干嘛了呀！我们俩就是心意相通的，但是孟克
这风刺穿了2个人吗？
还全是头，
是脸上又是有2朵云。
EDG versus JDG will be so interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna miss it. Like, even like the first part of it.
但是远端又在混
啊！风刺还能再混一个吗？
风刺混3个了，就你滴血
倒了，
哇！
But like, I'm not too scared of like missing other ones in the future because I don't have many days where I'm casting VCT, where I'm casting Polaris at the same time that China's on. I think it's like all like today and tomorrow, and then like twice more. Like a Sunday next week, and then a Saturday the week after, and then that's it. And I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be doing Polaris around VCT, so it's never going to clash. That's the hope, at least.
要绕住了，这个地方都不敢
这两边真就移形换位啊
We'll never be putting Guam back on Killjoy so they can pick up. Yeah, I think so. Right, Nick is in a 1 versus 1 now. Spike still hasn't been planted. Cute recon. I thought that he might sort of peek a little bit more, but AG won the thrifty. Sorry, I'm sort of like zoning out on what's going on. My bad. Not as like focused as I usually am.
风刺一般来说，可能前2个我还稍微能理解一点，因为接的距离是比较近的，但后面其实离得很远。
寻敌剑
照到了非常多人的位置，
那只能说是斯波耐力大哥。
包括像刚刚的这样一个中距离，甚至已经算是一个中长距离，风刺的蹲着的一个跑打。
Both teams still have a timeout. Well, DRG don't anymore. It's still like a good position to be in.
两边真的就是一个拉锯战了，而且我觉得像这样一个打得满满的 BO3，也一定还是会多少对于选手的体力上有考验在的。
哎，那这个
I think I'm just a little bit stressed, like for
其实据我所知 ，DRG 的
like casting, I suppose.
都是非常擅长去做健身。
Oh, more like I'm stressed. Like I don't want to like.
给我们的一个形象就是，
I don't want to miss this second series, but I kind of have to.
能够为队伍去提供后续的一个状态上面，即使是打到如此之焦灼的时候，也有人能够去。
I got AG with the worst team in China. They look alright. Yeah, I mean, I feel
抗压能力是更强。
where I rated them at kickoff is pretty accurate.
比赛场面上
Like they're good.
竞争赛压力多大呀，是吧？
But like if you see all gamers play up against, I don't know, like JDG.
他是有这个比较好的底子在的，虽然你看他
Or Edward Gaming, I don't think they're really going to do too much damage.
好的，暂停结束，回到比赛。
But I think this for me, this whole series just is like all gamers are better than they might look. DRG are worse than they might have like looked, based off of like that they won Ascension, that they've been consistently a top team in like Evolution. Made top 4 at kickoff.
感谢我们现场观众对于选手的一个支持啊！今天这场拉锯战对于选手的体力是。
But yeah, this all gamers team is everything they need to be strong. And even if they lose this series, they've all been close maps.
中路的渗透，陆克还是想要凭借自己的单挂去找机会。对，这个虚拟剑他好像能躲过去。哎，提前让交了一个力挽狂澜，他以为对面要复合自己的战术，结果扑空了。
现在是怎么说
I guess it's more like impressive that all gamers have been able to like look this good this quickly.
知道 A 点后点双人站位了，但是
And I think like for Icebox, a lot of the stuff that they were just losing out, like they're just pressure. Like if we see all gamers get to 11 rounds, let's see if they start to fall off again. Oh, they just backed out right into him. I mean, the mental side of it now just feels like it's all gamers. DRG just look a little bit boomed.
再来三杀，雕臂力大功。
这一块没有留技能吗
On the Nico again.
可能真没想到神锁能压得这么。
Personally, really like Sword9. Would love to see him with JDG. I think out of the two, I'd rate YH better.
意识到了，就是对手好像不怎么去控这个管道。
Like the experience too.
这也算是抓习惯吧。
而且肖恩熙这个地方肯定嘴里已经在说了，后面有人，后面有人，后面有人。
And this Fury as well, just as the Euro flanks them.
是的，这一分其实我觉得整体看。
Yeah, I'm really like glad for all gamers to like show up like this.
那现在好像分差被逐步拉大了。第二季的暂停也是刚刚叫完，目前看来又进入到了被对手打进混起分的情况。五卡鼠继续使用。
What's the best VCT team other than EDG? FPX would be the obvious answer. My answer would be Trace.
4个人走2楼，真是啊，
感觉好像没有什么人能看到他们。那开门4个人直接从这出吗？
DLB 也已经是站在了中路的一个位置。
好像真的想。
Like I'm dying to see Trace make Shanghai.
之前会看到其他队友有一个战术是这里。
我又关了。
无事发生，不打扰了啊，先走了啊。
Trace just like the mechanics, unfortunately. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think what they lack is just the mental. Like, they just seem to fall off massively in big series. I think Trace have everything they need to not only like be a top team, but be the top team. Like, I think they possibly have the best IGL in China. I think they have the best duelists, or one of the best duelists in China.
进攻方的枪械劣势还是蛮大的，幻影在这个位置上面点人也是非常的舒服，身边还有一个掩体，小火龙过来帮忙了，接完了。
5打2，
Spitfires has found so much. I mean, this has just gone in with a whimper.
是的，这样的话是顺利的来到了自己的第12分，也是真正的。
It's so hard to predict China. I don't feel like that's
4个赛点能否把握住机会？现在其实。
I don't think. I feel like it's easier to predict China than some other regions.
对。
I feel more comfortable predicting China than I would say Pacific. Like, this is one I'm going to be wrong on, but like, I'm definitely one of those people that has been very like anti-DRG, I suppose. Like, I've not been that like hot on them, even with them making top 4. I was like, they just show up where it matters. Yeah, Delby's done good today. Like, consistently top fragging for the team, but he's been playing Sentinel up until this map.
开混了，但是说实话，混烟效果会偏一般的，因为对手压根就没有打算出来去踩这个前点。
对的。这个回合的话，第2季是没有 A 通的位置可以去打了。接下来他们要去做怎么样的选择呢？先顺水推舟，先来到 B 前点的一个位置啊。
但是事实上，虽说 A 场展开了回复 ，A 小依旧有点要看，包括中路的管道可能会摸牌，所以他其实也没有让其他队友特别的集中
啊，留了一个保镖在身边，让 Monk 稍微帮忙看一下。
那此时我觉得打 B 区的话，以人多打人少，尽可能的完成优势置换，就是当前第2季拿分的一条比较正确的道路了。
往中路双门放的假身是被 Monk 先打掉了啊，但是这一波的进攻意图来了。
I'm not really gonna be that much, have they, DRG?
技能在这个地方还是比较多的，谁来去处
I mean, they're executing, but they just go right into the util. Timing fell off. Luke might have just been able to force his way through. It's a 3 versus 3.
脚步还是不太够的，只有他一个人在点内。
是。
Delby's just. I love that he's just walking up along here. They don't expect him at all, and he's seen 2.
但是他能够跳到底下去，
能捡枪吗？捡到了，尼克打掉了棒塔。
He's only got 4 bullets in this gun as well.
还有20秒的时间。
Has to reload. Stay by. Shock dart combo. Is that going to work out as well as it looks? No, not quite. But Nick's kind of giving away his position. Alright, Monk in a 1 versus 1.
孟克怎么选择？要来抓一下吗？保安了，来抓了。
Oh, he just gets it. Alright, nice. Not only do all gamers pick up their first map, they pick up their first series.
最后以13比8的比分鏖战了3张地图之后。
Alright, some Preds are going to be broken, including my own. But I'm surprised at how it ended as well. It was just like going into the second half, it all just fell off a little bit. But yeah, DRG made like that roster move of bringing in Xion. Looked good on this map. Like Xion had some fantastic moments, but just completely fell off on the attacking side. What does this mean for AG's legacy? Well, I'm glad that like all gamers like it's coming along a lot quicker than it initially looked. But what are the? What am I doing here? Do it this way. So all games have got Wolves next, which is a winnable game. It's a hard game. Like all of these are like really tough opponents. I think all gamers versus Nova will be a really fun watch too. But yeah, I think if all gamers could look competitive against Wolves, they could definitely like challenge Billy. But DRG, they've got FPX, Tech, JD, Trace, TYLOO. They might only be able to like pick up the 1 win, in all honesty. Like, these are 4 crazy hard teams to be playing up against. JDG versus DRG will be funny though. Like rematch of Ascension. AG better than Wolves? I mean, quite possibly. AG win in Shanghai. Maybe not that much, but yeah, great series and map for them to win, for sure.
对的，其实，在起点赛赛段的时候，
Right, let me post that on Sliggy's channel.
是一支非常细腻的队伍，他们有很多的部署，但是很多情况下我们会觉得有点可惜的是，没有枪法能够去把它成功的兜住。但今天我们看到了 ，AG 在陷入劣势的时候，每个人都能站出来，每个人都能去兜住这样的一个残局。
What's it? DRG versus AG, not free breeze.
但是我觉得最后可能也就是在 8比10的那个节点吧，差之毫厘，谬以千里，没有去打断对方的拿分趋势。啊，我卡鼠这个穿点位啊，我是真的会学起来的，因为它确实真的非常好用啊。
学到，
其实今天我觉得有一些
long series too.
预期是完全不符的，就是零的发挥异常。
I predict it's already broken from yesterday. RB is Thanos. Yeah, it's consistently. I think the Tech were the better team now in that series. I'll show you mine. So I was wrong on this one, but I was right on these two. But like these were close series. This was close, so with any luck, this is adding into it too. Because nobody got like 15 points. So everybody that's done pick'ems for China is wrong somewhere already.
我给双门，给后面他能见行吗？或者帮我开飞机？他这样，我开飞机，飞机。
Right, what time is it? I'll probably have to like. I'll see if I can watch for a little bit of it. But it depends like how quick the turnaround is from like the match starting. Yeah, please, AG, just play Spitfires on Sentinel full time, please. It's just too good not to.
MVP 也是给到了 Spitfires 平均的评分262 ，KD 1.9，平均每回伤害175。
And he's MVP. On the other maps, he was like bottom fragging on all of them, and then the map that he plays like his role on. Let's see. Yeah, Spitfires bottom. Spitfire's not quite bottom, but close enough. And then Breeze just. It's crazy how Xion actually only gets like 10 kills here. I'm pretty sure all of these were like part of the multi-kills he had in A main. Outside of that, like not really too much. I think Xion should just play Astra here. I think that would suit that team so much more. I feel like this is like the China meta, maybe the Pacific meta to an extent too, where this just feels like so omnipresent. Like post plant's not good for DRG at all.
RG 还是有超过自己大比分的率先击败数，但是有一些可能就是有多打少，有5打4的可能这样的。
Both pistols won from All Gamers too. How many did they get the whole series? They got both of them. Oh no, they didn't get both of them there. So 1-all, 1-all, 1-all.
做一定的优化，因为两边整体是一个复制阵容嘛。那也是看一下最后的赛果。第一张地图是由 DRG 以13比1
Yeah, good series.
AG 也是由13比11。
Like nice to see teams be like actually competitive and stuff.
决胜图威风岛屿由 AG
EDG versus.
那这样的话，最后还是由 AG 等于说是一个让1追2，而且是在非常极限。前2张地图甚至都打满了。如果你说变成了一个2比0，最后是 DRG 的一个2比0，也是完全有可能的。但是我们看到了 AG 的选手相当的坚韧。今天除了他们的战术执行以外，枪法也是依然非常在线的。
有一个冷知识啊，从 Stage 1，也就是第一赛段开赛到现在，
Maybe we'll wait for about half an hour because the ticket is only for one match. Wait, they have tickets for China that are just for one series?
好，也是可以看一下我们的赛后采访。
That's kind of crazy. Not for the full day. I guess you have got like more dedicated fans and stuff.
欢迎来到赛后采访，我是俊俊。首先恭喜 A 进拿下了本场比赛的胜利，我们也是邀请到了 Sworn9 选手来接受我们的采访。Hello 九哥，跟大家打声招呼吧。
Hello， 大家好。
也是恭喜你们拿下了今天的这场复仇之战，而且我想说，对于 AG， 对于你个人来说，应该都有着特别的意义。那现在感受怎么样呢？
首先是赢了比赛，感觉很开心吧。然后今天这场胜利，因为我知道赛前有很多外界的质疑声音，质疑我们的实力是不如对面。那我也想说，今天这场胜利也算是回应了一部分质疑。
而且赛前也说做好自己嘛，那今天确实是做到了，而且代
表了非常多的
惊喜。那你们是在赛前有做什么特别的准备吗？能够让你们有着如此大的提升？
因为我们起点赛就输给第二。
Used to be for all day, kind of strange now.
不是我们整体的战术。
This is a good way of gauging how popular people are.
个人失误、个人细节走
Like teams, but I don't know.
所以我们这个休赛期
What are the comments like on Reddit for this one?
去抠每个人的个人的一些细节问题。 然后我也希望每个人都做好自己的同时，那我觉得这个5个人的组合就是没有问题的。
没错，做好自己这4个字真的是贯穿始终了。那觉得今天的表现，你们发挥出了自己多少的实力呢？
我觉得应该是70%吧。如果是100%的话，我感觉图1应该能赢的。11比7领先之后， 感觉有很多决策和对你的交流就停滞了，所以导致被翻盘了。
那我们一起期待之后100%发挥实力的 AG 能够带给我们怎样的惊喜。
OK，
而且现在队内也是发生了一个位置的轮换嘛，由小火龙打决动 JLB 来。
Oh yeah, there's like America's on today as well.
做出这样的调整。
Long day.
因为训练赛里面 DLB 对自己的狙击枪产生一些自我的怀疑，然后小火龙龙哥他又对自己的狙击枪觉得很有自信，所以我们就进行了一个位置上的互换，然后训练赛里面效果不错，我们就沿用到比赛了。
没错，今天的正式比赛效果也是打得非常的好。 那最后一题呢，是由我们欧盟暗影精灵带来的粉丝提问。其实赛前小火龙有说过，从来都不觉得你们是什么所谓的第6人队伍啊，每个人都能够站出来带领大家往前走。那今天的胜利就是最好的证明。那有没有什么话？
I mean, actually, yeah. Like it felt like yesterday the turnaround for games was a little bit longer than it was for like kickoff.
之前的比赛打得不尽人意，
could be wrong.
你们的支持也不会有今天的胜利。谢谢大家。
What was Pacific? Like, what's that looking like at the moment?
9哥好不好？好，谢谢大家，不要走开，精彩比赛马上回来。
DRX picked up the first map. $13-8 on Sunset. Okay. Have we seen Team Secret play Sunset from like kickoff? I don't know if we did.
Just when you think Team Secret has got some momentum, Buzz just shuts it right down in that round. Not much time to work with here. Has to grab the spike and plant it immediately.
It's a lot of space to actually go and do this, though.
Look at the player cam. Jeremy's eyes.
Seeing if anyone was going to push out. Oh, he fucked it up. He messed it up.
No time at this point.
Unlucky.
Tries to bait out Buzz, but
He says Delby's not confident about his op, but Spitfires is, so they exchanged ops. Oh, sorry. If you were translating the interview, I should have left you to do it. But it's done now. Delby's not confident about his op, but Spitfires is. I mean, I guess play less around the operator then. Like, you can still play like Sentinel op. Like, look at Yampy and what he was doing with like Liquid. A lot of stuff that you need to be careful about. Sorry, it's just this music video is just copyright striking like crazy. Also, there's like a little bit of audio from the VMix stream, which I didn't realize was playing in the background. It was very quiet. Spitfires used to be rare atom duelists. Yeah, but like it just didn't look good today. Like when Delby's like doing consistently strong stuff, like it just sort of felt like Spitfires seemed much more comfortable being on the Sentinel. I don't really know how to like gauge it, but just the decisions that Spitfires was using to find picks around the map were amazing. It feels like if you leave Spitfires to kind of go and serve up stuff for themselves, that they might be able to like come in and like be creative with finding openings. Are there any roster changes for JDG? Yes. The main one is that they brought in YH Chen, who used to be at Attacking Soul. He was their IGL, played a lot of like flex roles, pretty much would play everything, but he'd like, I think he like secondary IGL'd, but I could be wrong on that. Like the IGL situation for Attacking Soul was a little bit odd, but they've benched J Kuro, so. They got rank kids for China as well. I guess they would do. I think that's fairly like accurate. Way About Gaming doesn't exist anymore. It's funny that you have the Game Changers EDG team over All Gamers TYLOO and Nova. Is there anybody else that's super down here? Like Wolves out on this list. But yeah, like rankings like this are always going to be a little bit janky, especially when you don't have like API data to go across. He's called God of Odin. Oh, because he's just an Odin sprayer. Like, I remember like some good moments from YH from Attacking Soul, but he was just kind of one of those like typical supporting players that like you never really noticed the word that they were doing. Plays Odin on Heaven. Heaven of which map? Like Lotus? Like a Lotus? Oh, like Ascent, right? It's the only other one that I can think of. I'm gonna go grab some food as well, just so I've eaten and stuff. But yeah, be right back. On Haven? Oh, well, I mean, Haven's not in the map pool at the moment, but I mean, when he was playing, it was, so I guess. I haven't done my like connections and stuff today. I'll probably do it like in a break or something for casting. Trying to think if there's anything else to like go over. I think so. I'm seeing if there's a like post match thread, but I guess not. Yeah, the China thingy, but there's only one comment in there. Alright, 122 comments here, one there. Like, eventually China will get to a point where it can, like, cover the region. I just wonder if it's going to be, like... if the, like, international audience is going to care about China. Because right now you're not giving them a reason to care because you don't have anything for an English broadcast, I guess. I'm not sure how you really, like... even if, like, do you even prioritize it, I guess? This one I'm not really, like, too sure on. I probably should go. I'm sad that I missed this series though. What series tomorrow would I potentially miss? Wolves versus FPX? I'm less fussed about this series, but missing this one is a tragedy. What days clash next week? I think it's Sunday that I'm casting. Right, this is where we are. Yeah, Sunday I miss, so next, well, it's a Sunday. TYLOO versus Edward Gaming I miss. But like Buffy series, like hopefully this is a closer series. I might let it go get some food. Well, I mean, it's like I'm gonna go cast, that's a problem. Yeah, I'll head off in like 5, so that should be good. So I can either like host where I'm casting, or I can just host the main stream. I guess it's like the better thing for me to do. Yeah, these breaks might be just because there's like more of a break, but it feels like it's longer. Just trying to get the right stream. Yeah, I'll do this now. It's a shame we didn't get to catch any of it, but like, can't be helped. Hopefully it doesn't happen too much in the future, but it's just a shame that it's all like kind of clashed into one. But yeah, I'll host that and send that across now. So at least you'll be able to like watch it along. I think what we will do though, like if people miss this game, like I'm gonna definitely like watch back the VOD and try and watch as much of the game as I can like off stream. But yeah, we'll be able to like do that, I guess. But yeah, sorry to cut it early. Kind of out of my hands, but like gotta do the work and all that jazz. But thanks for watching. It was a really good first series. And yeah, we'll catch back up tomorrow. It's Trace versus Nova, which should be more faster than the previous series that we've had so far, but I guess we'll see on that front. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. 登录虎扑，搜索 VCT 森为精彩的赛事打分，留下你的独特见解，共同见证选手们的。